Get those cleared because they're in my way. Perfect. Are we on? We're live.
Test.
Yep.
Test.
Yep, you're live. Live is live.
Bueller.
Baby.
Bueller. Oh, look at that pretty screen.
Are we though? I mean, what
Hang on,
is
there we
live?
go.
I mean,
Really?
we're all live besides Skirt and maybe Floki.
Oh, let's see here. We've got. Looks like the two holy people in negative numbers. Moose even's got some hit point damage on him for a change. Gideon's been down at least once in this combat. And to judge from the fight, you'd think that Floki didn't care anything about August. And that August has just been very good at positioning and not being in the gross. So, last time, you guys started out. Pretty sure we started in Vallaki? Or was it at Van Richten's Tower?
Yeah.
It was in Vallaki.
And it was, okay, we need to get going. Let's get supplies. Let's get out of here. And that got a little bit sidetracked by finding Van Richten's wagon in town. The tiger that had been in there previously, there was no sign of. And as you guys poked around a bit, it just kind of seemed abandoned of sorts. Further investigations managed to find you guys another monster hunting kit of sorts, though this one was a little more intense than the one Van Richten had in his tower. Scrolls and more silver bolts, for example. Also in there was a doll, which you guys identified as being Vistani-esque, and also chewed upon by probably the tiger.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Other books were in there. Skirp did his best to do his Skirp thing with, as I recall. It was a green-bound notebook. Fortunately, I'm on this page right now. However, you guys, it just kind of looked like prayers of sorts, like chants against evil and things along those lines. Didn't seem to be anything important. So, after having attempted to shop, attempted being kind of the key word there, and not finding anything that was A, what you wanted, and B, at a reasonable price, you guys decided to go see the Vistani, just south of Vallaki, since you guys rescued one of their own, Arabelle, a little girl. And he's Luvash, her father, was like, yeah, we got some stuff to show you, and tried to sell you guys some potions that he said would protect you against the evils in the land and against the fog, that the mists that are so pervasive throughout the lands. You guys were kind of like, okay. You're probably Gideon was kind of watching for these tells, and he's like, I don't think so. And so your guys like, thank you, but no thank you. We're gonna get on our way. And so you did. It kind of felt like a lot more happened than just that, but apparently it was. I mean, we had a lot of RP in Vallaki and getting on the road. Checked for quite a few encounters along the way. You guys kind of looked over your shoulders at the bone grinder on the way past. And as you made it to the gates of Barovia, these gates that kind of denote the break from the village of Barovia and Strahd's personal domain, being the castle area, to the rest of the valley below, you saw this creature perched up 30 feet on one of the pillars. This creature is known to you as Floki, previously a friend, and horribly misshapen by the dark powers within the Amber Temple. And after some very brief back and forth, he decided that it was best that you all die so that he could prove his power and his abilities to go and take on Strahd for himself, and thus secure his place in these dark lands. And as you're looking at the battle map, that is kind of where we left it. There are, in fact, 2 dead Flokis there. After the first downing of Floki, the ground burst And there was yet another Floki, though changed. He appeared to have draconic features, though everything that you know of Floki, his third eye, his bone wings, the kind of like sulfurous smoke that comes out of pretty much all of his orifices when he speaks, his low, raspy voice, all present again. And the battle continued. And as it continued, our adventurers took many, many wounds, two of which are currently down. Gideon is not looking so good, and August is just doing his work of staying out of it. Floki hasn't really gone out of his way much to target him. He's definitely been focusing on Gideon and Tally, and kind of as a tertiary target, Skirp. So he seems to have some beef with his former friends for whatever reason. And you guys downed the dragon Floki, though it seems to have cost you a fair bit. The more holy members of your group are down. August is kind of, just getting his feet back underneath of him, and Gideon's probably nursing a few broken ribs and some really gross necrotic feelings surging throughout his system.
True fact.
A true fact. I need to go check. So August rolled me when last we met. By August, I mean Zeb, because I have Zeb rolling things. Specifically, when Floki fell, what happened is he threw off one of his big bursts of necrotic energy, and kind of he just apparently expelled all of the energy he had left or something, because as soon as that was off, he fell to the ground. Zeb, roll for me a D8 and a D4.
Oof.
Perfect. Okay, that's not far off of what I actually just kind of randomly had on my own. Perfect. Okay. Party of adventurers. Where are we for death saves? Tally. Tally had made
Prior
one.
That's right.
to my
Yes.
timer running out, I will use a bonus action to teleport back to the ground.
Okay.
Because I only get a minute of, so basically 10 rounds. And I know I've been at least 3 rounds in, so I want to make sure I hit to the ground without. Granted, I could fly, but I still want to.
I was gonna say you can fly.
Plop down here.
All right. So we've got two. Tally has made one save. Skirp has failed one save.
As soon as he sees Floki fall, Gideon's going to rush over to check his friends and see how badly wounded they are.
Okay. Are you trained in medicine?
Oh no, I am not.
Okay. What does this have to say about?
But you would know that Tally has a healer's kit on her at all times. She
We
is
actually had a in-character discussion about what to do with the healer's kit last time.
He absolutely did. Absolutely.
So
I
Gideon
think we got a
knows
spare one floating
that
around
there's
too.
one in Skirp's backpack and one in somewhere in Tally's belongings.
You could ask the free market.
Yeah, that's exactly my plan.
Free market provides.
Mhm.
According to the demand.
That's right.
of the
Should I
populace.
roll medicine or
Um.
perception?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead and roll medicine.
Hey,
Not bad. What's the? I'm actually looking for it right now because I still can't find my player's guide for whatever
it's
reason.
a DC 10 to stabilize someone usually.
If you use a healer's kit, you can just automatically
Yes.
do it.
Okay.
Uh,
So
Can
at
I-
least
Finding a use of it.
one person has been stabilized.
Okay.
Can I ask Floki if
It's
he's
Tally.
dead?
You're gonna go up and poke at him.
Oh,
No.
he's got
No,
speak
no,
with
no,
dead.
no, 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 no.
Oh, you're gonna
Um,
speak with dead.
Yeah.
If you rummaged through my pack, you found both a healer's kit and 2 health potions.
So
Gideon does indeed look through the see if he asks the free market for the healer's kit. Very politely.
Roll persuasion because it's funny.
It's my best skill, you know. Oh wow.
Okay, not bad. You know what? Free Market's basically a member of this party. He was being cheeky, if anything, and he's like, okay, yeah, yeah. And he coughs up the three items you're looking for. Um, so while that's happening,
Yeah.
August goes over and does Whispers of the Grave, and there's no answer.
I let Gideon know that I don't think this is over.
And there's a voice you are familiar with, a low, rumbly voice, and the ground bursts open, and a human with bone wings crawls out and says, "If you wish to speak with me, you could have just asked."
Jesus.
And he darts up into the air 50 feet, and you can
I
just
did
see him
just ask. That's what I did. I asked if you were dead this time.
well, he's given his answer in either case.
Right.
And he's clearly sneering, and he looks very human. No dragon features this time, no cat-like features, just human, though third eye, bone wings, smoke coming out of his nostrils and mouth when he's speaking. And he says that believe I've proven my power. I honestly don't think you ever had any chance against Strahd. Not like this. You couldn't stand against the very powers that created him. And he kind of lifts up both of his hands, and you see like crackling electricity.
I'm gonna bonus action and move.
Okay.
Teleport away.
I'm out. At least where if he shoots me with lightning, it's not at the path of you guys.
Says, and with this glorious victory, I go to Ravenloft to claim my new throne. Why don't all of you just die? And these winds pick up, and a very cold breeze blows down from the castle. And this almost like torrent, like tornado forms above the bulk of the party, which at this point is going to be not including August. And a 20-foot, basically, cylinder forms over you. And this ice storm just comes with all of its fury down on top of the four of you. The fourth being Moose, of course. Those of you that are able, make a dexterity saving throw. Very good.
I love
You
this.
can take half of what is that? Perfect.
Probably
good
won't
effort, Moose.
matter. Probably won't matter.
Of 27, there's cold and bludgeoning damage in there if you care about it.
I don't think it does. So it's half of that for me.
Yep. And we'll put a tally and skirt back down into dying. Though I don't believe you had actually finished stabilizing Skirp.
No, I was still working on it.
So we'll give Skirp another death failure.
Moose is instructed mentally to grab Tally and drag her out of the storm, and Gideon's going to attempt the same on Skirp, assuming he
Okay.
has a better chance of carrying Skirp than Tally.
In this kind of pseudo combat round, we'll say those
Yeah.
are your actions. August, what are you doing?
I will shoot Loki. That's really all I have. He's used all of my spells at this point, other than my um cantrips.
Okay. Boo-boo. Oh, let's look at your AC, shall we? I'm pretty sure that's going to get him. Yeah. The second bolt is indeed a crit.
Yes. No.
Or is that just a
No. That's because I'm blessed. Sorry.
ah? In either case, you got a hit, so 17 force damage in total.
Yeah. Yep.
And he flies over next to you, very, very close, and whispers something into your ear. And go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Sweet nothings.
Interesting. Having said what he said, he flies off into the darkness. In the direction of Castle Ravenloft.
Okay.
Wow, that's quite a wisdom saving throw.
Well, it's two less than what it
Damn.
actually is. Bless gives me the plus the D4, and then I'm not within range of him, so that's in there. So it's actually only 28.
Actually, technically, Bless fell off when Skirp went unconscious.
Oh,
Oh.
fair.
Mhm.
Okay, well then that goes down to 25. Or
That's
Okay.
fine.
25.
You made the save.
Still, yeah.
Okay. So, how's it going? How you guys feeling?
Feeling like I'm
Does
supposed to make a death saving throw soon.
does Gideon manage to get either of them out?
Oh, that's a good. Moose doesn't have to worry about it, but you trying to pull a heavily laden goblin paladin needs to make strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw? Not okay.
Or strength check, I guess. Not saving throw.
Is this athletics or is it just an unskilled check?
We can call it athletics.
It's not like
I'm okay
I'm
with
any
that.
better in athletics than anything else. It's just easier to roll. Dope.
You managed to fall basically like square on your butt because of the icy situation that's going on here. So we will say that Moose is able to pull Tally out without much of an issue, and then she still owes me a saving throw because she's no longer stable.
Okay.
Okay, and then Skirp saving throw.
I can do that. So the death
Death-
saving throw.
Death
Yeah.
save.
Just making sure. This is it. This is for all of Skirp's
Oh
marbles.
god.
It's a 10 on the die.
Yep, it's a 10 on the die.
Oh, that would be. Wait, it didn't roll on my screen.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
have a roll in
GM'd it on
chat.
accident.
Oh, you GM rolled it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a 13
Okay.
modified, so he's
Where's that button?
not dying.
Is that under? I don't know where I did that.
It's
Oh,
on your
found it.
core stats,
Ah.
bottom right corner.
Okay. Can I?
But not stable. So,
Yep.
Yes.
can you?
Can I use like a bonus action in this pseudo combat round thing?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to use my second wind to try to survive another round in this ice storm as he's about to try to drag Skirp out one more time.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay.
I like it.
Should be up to 34 again. And so he will attempt again to drag Skirp out. Is this an ice storm? Am I right about that?
It is, in fact, Ice Storm.
Okay. It's not going to matter. Does it hit again?
It does not,
Oh.
fortunately. It starts dissipating. The winds die down. The two of you both another save.
Let's see. I don't think.
Oh, tally. I watched
Too
that roll
angry
into
to
3.
die.
Apparently. All right, we've got 2 successes each.
Oh, thought you were saying another deck save. Never mind.
That too, though.
Okay.
Gideon, you can either run to tally or you can administer skirp.
Uh,
One or the other is going to have to make a save, depending on what you do.
I'm gonna finish administering on Skirp since I'm
What?
literally already working on him.
Dead.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right, roll your medicine.
Am I able to teleport to Tali and try to help her?
Yes. Actually, with the kit, you just succeed at stabilizing, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's how
You
it
expend
works.
one use of it. Yep.
All right, so you expend a use of the kit, and you have it out. Skirp stabilizes.
Literally just stuffing things
I
into
don't have a
wounds.
kit.
Okay, then you get to roll a medicine check and pray to the Raven Queen.
Oh God.
All right, Tally, save.
All right, that's fail.
Fail.
Where are we at with your
2
succeed
to 1.
failures? 2 to
2-1.
1. All right. Skirp is stable.
Okay.
Gideon, what are you doing?
I'm gonna leave him there in the dirt and just sprint to Tally to like try to help,
Okay.
lend a helping hand, as it were.
You have the kit?
Yes.
Okay. Then Tally may be stable
Yay!
for now.
Oh.
So the two of you are at 0 hit points. You are no longer dying. Gideon's at 30 something. And August is at full hit points because for whatever reason, Floki doesn't really care about you.
I thought Zeb was gonna get one character killed by a previous character, and that would have been amazing.
It'd have been interesting flavor for the game for sure.
Pef ran out of ways to kill you, so he had you kill yourself.
Right? That'd have been great.
Um,
I have a feeling if I had failed the wisdom check, though, it might have been something like that.
Some looper bullshit here.
Okay.
Gideon
What do
will
you
hold
guys-
up the potions towards August. Do we use these on them? That they'll probably wake up, but will they help enough? Should we just get them back to town? Beep. They're not from me.
I mean, we were arriving a day early, right? So we might as well take them back if we can. Can't fight Strahd half dead.
Gideon looks over at Floki's corpses.
Just looking at them to see if they're
Yeah.
moving. Or you're like
It's
afraid
just-
it's going to sprout another Floki.
Is it like a Hydra where you cut off one head and
2 more show up.
he will mentally command Moose, who is very quickly approaching full HP again, to pick up the 2 unconscious companions. Onward or backward, August?
Backward.
And then I guess we'll head back to Valaki. Toward Valaki.
Okay. Back towards Valaki. Interesting.
Are we like
Okay.
really far from Valaki?
You are. Let's go
I
to the
don't
map, shall
remember,
we?
honestly.
Sorry, I'm dead.
I think we're
I'm passed
halfway,
out.
right?
You are closer to Castle Ravenloft than you are to. I don't know why I always put
the
you
other
there.
choice would be the Vistani camp or the village of Barovia?
You guys are
Vistani
at
camp is very
B.
close.
K is the castle.
K doesn't stand
K
for
is for castle. Let's go
K
to
is for castle. G is the camp, the Serpool camp where the Vistani are.
Ah,
And Valaki is back at N. And looking at that, you guys are 8 miles, which is
it's like 8 hours,
Significantly
right?
longer than.
yeah, it's a long trek. You guys can go about 24 hours in a day, so it's probably a good 4 to 6 hour trip back.
Can go 24 hours in a day. I mean, unless the
24
day's
miles
30
in
hours.
a
24
day.
miles in a day, sorry.
Time and space.
Listen,
Um,
Now I understand why there's monsters on this island.
roll a Constitution saving throw. Not really,
But actually,
August doesn't
what if
know
instead we
of
went
this
to
place.
the
So
Vistani camp? There's one. They were reasonably friendly to us before.
yeah, I know. August has never been there or seen it. So yeah, if you know a place to go, definitely down for that too.
All right.
did I
Then let's
background
try.
layer what?
It's like a red X
yeah,
Oh, I
Or
didn't
the-
draw that.
like that I can't delete.
that's because I made it.
Okay.
Do we not want the X?
No.
I mean, I can put it on the map layer if you want.
I thought I had doodled all that, so it's. I
Uh,
was just surprised when I couldn't delete part of it.
You are the
Here we
primary map doodler. It's your party role. It's cartographer, but it's just crayons.
the-
It's on brand.
he doesn't like writing, but he loves making maps.
Skirp would really do that, I feel like.
No, that's pretty accurate.
I feel like the scale would always be a little bit off. Like things would be twice as far away as most people would expect.
My
them to be.
legs are half the length.
I know.
So
we
can
gotta-
Moose carry both then?
Yes,
Sounds right.
I'm pretty sure
Okay.
Moose can carry 2 people.
I'll follow you then, because I don't.
He
I
can
don't know where
absolutely
we're
do
going.
that. All right, so B are the gates of Barovia. J are the gates of Ravenloft.
We're heading for G.
You are heading for the Serpool camp. All right.
They rented us horses in the past. They may be willing to rent us a space to rest.
That's where Madame Ava was, right?
Correct. How many miles is that?
That was like
2.5.
2.8.
Yeah.
2.5. Perfect. Let's have our conscious party members roll a d20. You guys are no fun. All right. To the Serpool with you then. You arrive at the encampment. Very small and very archived map later. Seriously, I think it's all the way at the end.
We don't even necessarily need the map if.
Nah, I'm just looking for it for flavor's sake. You arrive, you smell smoke and hear what sounds to be kind of like lute type music before you even get to the camp itself. Whoop, here we go. Of course you did.
God damn it.
When did that happen?
Oh, Skirp.
I don't even
I-
remember this map.
I don't either.
That's because this is like day 2.
It's like 2.5 years ago.
Yeah. There's clearly some sort of evil book
And a dead goblin?
and a dead
Did I
goblin.
die here?
No, you did
Oh,
not.
Okay.
Thought you were fine here.
You walked out of the mists in Barovia Village after your death. Just kind of like, hey guys, what's going on?
All right then.
We're all standing there solemnly at his grave, and he walks up behind us, like, "What's going on, guys?" Like that one scene in Indiana Jones.
Yeah, just looking over
Right.
the edge, like, whew, wow, it's a long way down. As you walk up, you see a large number of Vistani, their tents, horses, and wagons. They, seeing this large mechanical gentleman stride in with 2 people, presumably, in its arms over its shoulders, carrying it in them both in some way.
Cradling Tally, but Skirp is just kind of draped. held up by one leg.
You see everybody kind of go for weapons because they don't really know what's going on.
Gideon will step on in front with his crossbow not in his hands like out. Ho there! We're friendly. We've dealt in the past. If any of you may remember me.
They're just like looking and like, yes, yes. What can we do for all of you?
Well, we ran into some trouble on the road, and we could really use a spot to recuperate for a couple hours. I've rented horses from you in the past. I was wondering if maybe we could rent a tent or even just a space by the fire.
He says, "Oh, I'm certain we can work something out. How much coin would you say this is worth to you?"
Uh, Gideon hasn't haggled in a while. So you see August. You can see he kind of like his fingers move on their own for a moment, like he's about to enjoy this. Uh, well, an in room is usually only a couple silver, right? And this is incredibly less accommodating than a normal in room, of course. So what say you to a silver for each of us?
And yet, incredibly more urgent, it would appear. Go ahead and roll persuasion.
He's not good at this, but he wants to.
But he wants to be.
How do I roll persuasion? That's the button. I will never get used to these.
He laughs, and a bunch of the other Vistani guys just all start giggling. Like, no. I think we'll, let's call it 15 gold coins per person. Seems fair.
15 gold coins and you throw in dinner?
I suppose that could be arranged.
Deal.
I mean, we do have to be hospitable, after all.
Per person?
Yep.
Fine.
How do we define person? I go to Raven form.
Do you even need to rest?
Nope.
He's not a coffee lock.
Yeah. Anyway, they lead you to this tent out yonder on the northwest corner of the camp. You look inside; it's pretty barren, but there's blankets and furs stacked about, and it looks like it would be at least passably comfortable, if nothing else. How
Okay.
long do you plan on staying here?
We're gonna have to at least be here a night. But Gideon's not good at treating wounds, so he's gonna have to. August, do you know anything about binding wounds or how to wake someone up or
Yeah, you go and rent a doctor.
that little short supply here?
I bet there's a shaman or something in this camp. Usually all camps have some medical person. I can go maybe negotiate them tending to our friends.
All right.
I'll
All
go
right, you're gonna go negotiate.
poke around and ask them if any of them are experienced in the healing ways to be able to assist our friends in recuperating.
You get a fair bit of giggling at you, but otherwise, one of the more probably slightly better natured Vistani says, "Just go see Madame Ava. She's over in the tent there.
Thank you.
This tent here, the one with giant arrow that pointing to it, this is Madame Ava's tent."
I will
Okay.
wander over to Madame.
Madame Ava. You walk up to this tent that has a rather pungent kind of incense smell coming from it. And presumably you pass into it through
Correct.
the gate flaps, tent flaps. Blech.
If they're open, yes, I will pass in. If they're not open, I will announce my presence outside the door.
They are not open per se, so
I will politely try to get someone's attention. Excuse me, Madame Ava. May I enter or talk to you?
she says yes, yes, you may enter.
I enter.
Okay.
I have 2 party members who could use tending to their wounds, and I was curious. And the partiers outside claim that you are capable of such.
Ah. And who might you be then? I do not believe that we have met before, and you speak of friends. Tell me of your troubles.
Ran into a interesting creature along the way who had a vendetta, it seemed, against my companions, and he got the better of them this time. I'm just a passerby through upon the Raven Queen's behest.
The Raven Queen, you say? There is a name that I have not heard in these parts for a very, very, very long time. And she starts shuffling a deck of cards. These friends of yours, how have they come to anger this creature you speak of? Do you know
I
their
do not know the
past, their
story.
troubles?
I do not. You could ask them upon their way, Colo.
You presume that they did not deserve this retribution. Perhaps
I
I would
presume
be.
nothing. I just know I would need them awake.
She starts flipping through cards. Oh, that's interesting.
It's never good.
I'm literally flipping through the tarot deck for this game right now. I'm trying. Let me see if I have the art for this one available. But I have pulled up the marionette as she's playing with her cards. She flips open. I think I might actually have this. I don't. Or at least I can't find it. And I'm not going to spend too long looking for it. And she says, holding it up, and flips to show it to you. It's a marionette puppet held by strings. Has kind of this gaunt-like face that looks to be kind of like a white mask, and its hair appears to be made of black feathers. Its strings are being pulled by someone, some force unseen. The strings kind of go off the art on the card, and there's a chalice in front of it, and he is reaching for it. And she says, "Let's It seems that fate has spoken instead." And she reaches behind her and grabs this rather ornate cup, goblet, chalice, and hands it to you. Have your friends drink from this, and we shall see if fate deems them returned to us or not.
I grab the chalice. Thank her for her time. Is there any substance in the chalice?
There is a liquid. It is dark, and seems to have some kind of reddish hue to it.
As I leave her tent after thanking her, I detect magic on it.
Yeah, you get Lots and lots of powerful magic. Conjuration being the school there.
If I focus more, do I get more out of it other than conjuration?
Oh, there we go. Wow, that was even the first card on top of this. Holy crap. Game, what the
Wait.
hell are you doing? That's kind of scary, actually.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Oh, sometimes things are just meant to be. That is the card that was dealt, both in
Okay.
real life and on Roll20.
All right,
I'm not
then.
even joking. I'm going to take a picture right now and put it in
Who shuffled
Discord.
this?
I will return to
Amazing.
Gideon and inform him that the residents of this camp aren't the pleasant. I thought you said these were good people.
I never said
The-
that. I just said we dealt with them in the past.
Fair enough. I assumed. The healer
Host, welcome
or
to chat,
the
everyone.
spiritual leader here, or whatever she may be, played a game with her cards, giggled a little bit,
The follow.
and offered, instead of helping, to let fates decide, and gave us this really ornate chalice with liquid inside. It is magical. Give me an hour and I could probably identify what it is, maybe, before we feed it to our goblin friend in our tally.
You met Madame Avia then, right?
Yes.
My gut feeling is that we could probably trust her a little bit. She's the one who's kind of guided us a little to some of the help we've received, like the
That is
sword
up to
our
you.
goblin friend carries.
I'll hand August hands Gideon the chalice, and she says, "Well, her words were to let fate decide if they live or die, and to have them drink from this."
Screw it. Gideon's gonna test it on Skirt first.
Wow.
Jeez. Out of character, I fully approve of this. In character, I would also approve.
So he'll like lean Skirp up and then try to like put a little in his mouth of the chalice liquid.
Cute.
Okay.
That is.
This has gone vastly different than I expected, and I am okay with this outcome.
Good.
Skirp,
That's me.
roll 4d8.
Does he want to roll high or roll low?
Yo!
He wants to
Rolled it.
roll.
Oh,
How's high? Is high good?
P good. Add
23,
15,
please.
add 15 to that number.
wow.
38.
You wake up screaming. Just start up full blown, just on your feet.
Okay. Like I
Um,
like to think that I like rise slowly from the ground, screaming the whole time. Until I'm just standing, staring up at the sky. Screaming.
perhaps the reason you're staring at the sky
Yeah.
is that you feel like you've lost your sense of direction.
Oh,
No. No.
so you're awake.
Oh, you almost rolled a 1.
You just spin in circles for a while.
What happened? Where'd it go? Where are
Floki
we?
got away. And by
Okay.
got away, I mean apparently spared some of our lives.
I mean, that was. He's got wings. That was probably going to happen.
I mean, he died the first 2 times. I don't know, man. I don't know the rules.
Who's
Some people are just
all
more
awake right now?
unstoppable.
Gideon
Who's-
and August.
who's
You guys are
what?
both in the tent right now, yeah?
Yeah.
Correct.
He looks he looks a little more green than he's looked recently.
Are you feeling all right?
something's missing. No, I used to. I don't know. There used to be like a pull. Like I used to. Hang on. Like I used to just know where I was going.
I mean, if you wake up somewhere different than when you fell asleep, I mean, even getting knocked unconscious, it messes with your sense of direction for a little
No,
bit,
but
right?
like it was like the North Star, right? But it wasn't always in the same place, and it wasn't so much my eyes that saw it as like my stomach. But it's not there. Is it? No, I don't think it's there. Oh, that's weird. Hang on, I've got an idea. I want to check the picture book.
While he's doing that, Gideon's going to administer the liquid to Tally.
What are you giving him?
Her.
What are you giving? Her brain. Got it.
Apparently, healing liquid to bring them rise her up from the condition she's in.
Why is it in
Madam
a
Ava
cup?
gave us this.
How else
I
do you
don't know.
administer liquids?
Like free market. You could use one of these health potions.
Well,
These healing potions.
okay, but that was your healing potion, and there's no way to get more. And I didn't want to
Did you
use it
give me
without asking.
that cut? Like, did you pour
Yeah.
that down my throat?
A little bit of it, yeah.
How many hit points do I have?
38 plus 38, and then let me see. 6 seconds in a round. You guys have been talking for like a minute, so 10 hit points. You're just feeling like more and more healthy, like as the minutes go on.
Damn.
For effectively for the next hour, you gain 10 hit points a minute.
Ooh.
Oof. Ooh. I do feel better though. Hang on. I can still feel stuff shifting. Yeah, give it to him. I think it works. Yep.
He was already doing that.
Tally.
Like by the time Skirp
He
finishes
wasn't
saying
waiting for
that,
your
it's already
approval.
administered.
All right, Tally, roll 48. Add 15 to it.
Adding to the list.
Tally, you wake up and you are relatively certain you're surrounded by zombies.
Oh boy.
Huh?
Should have rolled 3 better.
I guess so. How far away are the zombies?
Let me see. This tent is 10 by 10, so the furthest any one of them can be from you would be like maybe 5 feet.
Gideon's like
Nice and
still
6
like
feet. Yeah.
was leaning over you as you awoke.
One of them is holding this, what looks to be like from like the forearm up of a skeletal arm, holding like a bowl, and like liquids coming out of it, and you can see that it
A
is
dark red
splashed on
liquid.
you. Yeah,
Like blood.
Uh,
blood adjacent.
going to stand up abruptly and knock the liquid out, or like knock the cup away. Say,
No.
you're not gonna, not going out this way.
You feel pretty good though. Little weak, and you've definitely taxed yourself magically. You know that, but health wise, you're like feeling all right.
So I heal for 35. Is that right?
Yes, that is
Okay.
correct.
I immediately start praying to Selune.
Okay.
And will channel divinity turn undead.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh.
What does that do to Skirp?
I was gonna say, hang on. I mean, first things first.
Skirp's CR is higher than a 1, right?
Last time I checked.
Okay.
Do I recognize that as a channel divinity?
You absolutely would.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just gonna brace, like duck behind the shield, Grit
You're
my
lucky I
teeth.
didn't use the fiery one.
Oh,
These undead appear to be stronger than what you know that is good at turning.
Tally, are you okay?
Do I hear that?
Uh,
Okay. Stand back. I'm looking like furiously trying to find my shield.
it would be
okay.
right next to you,
Okay.
unless for some reason the party thought to separate you from your gear, which didn't sound
Nope.
like.
At least she didn't wake up
Standard
screaming like
practice.
you did, Skirp.
I'm not a total monster.
Like a rabid animal, just like
Wait, is
trying to
this better
find
somehow,
that shield.
Gideon?
Sorry, I missed that.
Is this somehow better, Gideon? She's trying to. I don't know what she's doing, but she's not. She's panicking.
So I immediately run and grab my shield. Yeah, if they're
They appear to be communicating in a series of grunts and pointing.
are they pointing at me or each other or
Both.
okay.
I'm gonna light up. No, I'm not gonna. That doesn't make any sense to do. So I'm just gonna kind of wave at Tali. Tali, wake up!
One of them is like
Still
making
dreaming.
clawing motions at you with one of its arms.
The cup, did it get knocked over? Is it all spilled, or is there any left?
You'd have to check out the cup itself. So if you go reach over, pick it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check it.
Presumably you grab it and lift it up.
Yeah.
It looks empty until you tip it back upright, and then it begins to fill slowly from the bottom with this viscous red liquid.
August, did she say you should take that back to her when you're done?
She said we'll let fates decide if our friends wake up or not, and I left. So
They're awake.
no. Are
All
they
right,
though?
well-
She's panicking and he's hiding behind his shield. These little weird things going on right now. Like, have you ever seen
Why?
Skirp hide behind his shield from Tally before?
How did I get here? Where's Gideon? Skirp. And I think at this point Tally's gonna probably start shooting a sacred flame.
So to the rest of the party, you can hear Tally normally. She just seems like she's panicking.
Ah.
She's asking where you guys are.
Tally, we're right here. What are you doing?
I take it Gideon's probably the closest one now,
I
right?
Yeah,
asked
of course.
Skirp
Yeah.
for his picture book.
Free market? No, wait, no, I'm holding it. Yeah.
Yeah, you said you pulled it out, so
Yeah.
Put a
Show
wisdom
pictures to
save.
Tally. Show her the
Con
pictures.
save?
At this point I probably will shoot a sacred flame at the zombie that is Gideon.
What save
Okay.
is it?
Dex.
Dex.
Oh, jeez. I hope
Dex
I'm good
17.
at
Don't
it.
worry, it's radiant.
I'm not good at it.
You have
Alright.
taken 12 radiant damage as Tally
Oh.
just fires off.
Gideon's very hurt already, and that hurts him more when he
Ugh.
stumbles back against the side of the tent.
The
I throw the book to August. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say the shorter zombie now approaches with a book, but go ahead.
Well, yeah,
This
I
is
throw
one
it to-
zombie that's half the size.
I try to find a picture with all of them in it and start pointing at pictures, like trying to like.
So
Convey.
Tally, you do in fact recognize this book. The this odd looking. This one looks more skeletal, and it almost looks like the skeletal of system of some large bird. It's really rather terrifying because there's like feathers and like part of its flesh hanging off of it, and it's like opening this book towards you and like trying and like motioning, and you recognize Skirp's picture book. And you may now make a wisdom saving throw.
I think I'm affected by Skirp's whatever aura, right? Because he's back up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ho!
Spicy.
Got it.
Um, the world kind of snaps all of a sudden, and you see Gideon like slapping his armor, putting out this like golden flame. Skirp looking a little more green, less gray. There's less of like the black veins kind of up on his face and cheeks. And August kind of starting to like push his way forward, holding out the book, Skirp's picture book to you.
Oh,
Okay, I probably deserved that, but I don't know what for.
Gideon is also holding a golden goblet with inset with various kinds of gemstones, all of them various shades of red.
oh God, that putting the pieces together, just like, wait, you were all, and there was like 8 more oh my God, Gideon, I'm so sorry. And just immediately like running over to help, or I guess it's magical fire, so I'm assuming I can just like turn it off.
Yeah.
And then immediately casting a healing word or 3, I don't know.
Gideon cringes back a little.
I'm sorry. I woke up. Last I remember was we were fighting Floki. Came back from the dead, and now then I woke up and there were zombies everywhere, and then there was Skirp's book, and now I'm here.
Yeah, apparently this stuff has some weird effect on you. I mean, Skirp's like lost or something.
Me too. I'm very confused. Where are we by chance?
The Sar Pools, the Vistani camp. We rented a tent.
Oh. Well, you at least got a good deal, right?
They fleeced me, but I didn't really have a good bargaining position.
That's Vistani for you. Oh. Well, what happened? What happened to Floki? What happened to? What happened?
I'm not really sure. He told me to die, and then there was like ice hitting us, and then by the time it cleared, he was gone.
I should have known you of all people would make a deck save.
Well, so he just disappeared. He's still out there.
Probably.
Flew towards the castle. Said he had proven his strength and was taking his place.
He got lucky.
Well, we know a little more of what he's capable of for next time. I can never stand within 100 feet of you people again.
No, apparently not. Next time I won't be so easy on him.
But apparently he died twice. I don't know. Is that a thing he can do now? Just die and come back? It happened to Skirp.
Just
It
start
happened
looking
to
at Skirp.
Floki.
He didn't
These
come
are-
back the same, though. Like, he changed forms every time he died.
I mean, Skirp did a little too, right? I mean, he got all gray.
Yeah, but he went from,
A
like,
little lumpier.
whatever weird monster you guys knew to a dragon form to
Hey,
human form.
okay. You're talking about Floki, not Skirp. Never mind. Carry on.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It
Skirp's a
applies to
dragon.
more than one. I think if Skirp came back as a dragon, he'd be a kobold.
Oh, hell
Yeah.
You know him so well.
How how much time do we have?
I mean, it's only been a couple hours since then,
Oh,
so more than a day.
okay.
I
So
thought we might spend the night here recuperating and then strike out fresh tomorrow.
Yeah, that seems Oh, that makes sense. Oh, this has been a day.
So August, you were telling me before I maybe ill-advisedly forced this liquid on our friends. Could you tell me what this cup is?
Yeah, give me an hour. I suggested beforehand, which I look at Skirp and Tally both when I say that before administering it. But yeah, we can still do that now.
You're feeling better though, right, Tally? Right, Skirp?
Oh yeah, yeah. Squat, jump, shake it out. Yeah, I think I'm back.
Are you sure you're feeling all right though?
Oh,
You look a little sick.
You look a little green.
Which I understand is not easy. Being
Indeed.
it's rough.
So I'll spend
funny.
an hour, doing the studying, identifying thing.
All right. First of all, I misspoke on your initial. It was evocation, and then after you spend time studying it, if you guys want, you can. Are you guys going to long rest or short rest? Since he's going to spend an hour.
Uh,
I assume
I
long,
mean,
right? Spend the
yeah.
night here.
Where is it? Thursday afternoon right now?
As I recall, yes.
Okay. It was Thursday morning when we died to Flogi.
Well, it was Thursday morning when we left, traveled 9 miles, died to Floki, traveled 3 more miles,
nobody
and then here.
died.
Sure. So Thursday night, which means that like we had a long rest between the day of the wedding and current date. So
So I think long rest is
Yeah.
the consensus.
yes.
Okay. You guys may spend any hit dice you so care. Tally and Skirp, you guys will gain 10 hit points a minute for an hour, which I assume tops you off.
Yeah.
Zeb, as you continue, August, as you continue studying this, not only do you get your initial evocation school of magic from this, you also get transmutation and not abjuration. Whoop. Necromancy. There we are.
See, if I got the necromancy first, I'd have never let Gideon do it.
As you study further, and since you definitely have the time to do this, it appears at first glance this is set up to act as cure wounds, but it is also empowered with regenerate as per the spell and bestow curse as per the spell.
Okay. I okay. I don't get a short rest while we're doing that, right? So I have to spend another hour after that to get a short rest.
Yeah, but you guys are long resting, so you have 8 hours worth of short rest you can figure out.
As long as
Okay.
you don't do anything like
So
combat in that time, you're fine.
so after I identify it and get my short rest where my spells are back, which is the hour,
Mhm.
I ask her how he's feeling.
I feel great. I like I'm a little disoriented.
I think
I don't,
your positive feelings are going to come with a negative feeling, and I would like to maybe see if I can cancel those out for you before they get out of hand,
what do you mean
if you're
by-
willing.
How are you going to cancel negative feelings?
Well, shall we try?
Yeah, that's fine.
God, how many curses are afflicting him?
Which one?
Which one?
I guess it does all, but remove curses.
remove curses.
Yeah.
Aha.
All curses afflicting one creature or object end.
How many creatures is Skirp?
Half a dozen on any given day. Um,
Or half of one, depending on the size.
yeah.
Mm.
You know.
Thanks.
Okay, you touch Skirp, and Skirp, there's this kind of shock that goes through you,
What?
and a familiar sensation returns to you. You can feel this sort of tugging in your chest, pulling once more. To
Fixed it.
those of you that are bystanders, you see that the green that has come onto Skirp fades, and he once again takes on his gray, kind of pallid, uh, greenish death complexion.
Hey, you're looking better, buddy.
I felt
So-
it.
I
That's
mean,
better.
Tally,
More normal?
Now that I know this seems to work, I believe the liquid that was given to you gave you all of those benefit effects of waking you up, but also making you a little panicky. Also gave you a curse of some sort. I don't know the origin of the curse, but as I just tested on Skirp, I can remove it if you'd like.
Oh,
I mean,
worst
tested on
case.
Skirp.
This was not tested on humans.
oh,
Wow.
Yes, is Skirp a human? Is that controversial? He's not a human. Hey,
Alex Gideon.
yeah, I'm not a fan of being cursed. Let's see what happens.
Tally, you just kind of feel normal. You don't feel any different.
I don't turn gray.
No, you don't turn gray.
Probably
You
for
don't
best.
start withering horridly or screaming, and the zombies don't come back. You're like, okay.
So is there a way to
There's
actually identify this item, or like to know, or I just know that it gives a curse of unknown, and it cures wounds with regeneration?
What was the
you
question?
don't. He wants to know if he knows what the curse does.
Oh,
Or if
gotcha.
I can identify the actual magic item, so that way I would learn about it.
Oh, the like identify the actual like chalice.
Yeah.
That is something completely different, and you can absolutely attempt to identify the chalice.
Yeah, that's what I thought I was spending that first hour doing, was
Oh,
identifying.
I
the
thought you were
chalice.
doing it on remove curse.
you can just hard cast, identify if you want to.
I don't have it. I don't have the spell because, to my understanding, I
Oh.
can spend an hour with a magical item to identify it.
I thought you were doing
that's a
it, like,
tuning to an item.
yeah, a little bit different. Um, I will say that we'll hand wave that since you did spend the hour and you identified the spell effects.
Mhm.
It is definitely a magic item. If it has a name, it's unknown to you.
Mhm.
It does, however, seem to not only apply all of the effects that you um, found, but it also acts as what is this thing called? For Pathfinder, I could tell you. I can't find the spell name. There is a magic item that's in the DMG. It is the Spoon of Gruel that basically just constantly puts out new food whenever you want it. It effectively acts like that,
Okay.
except that it is charged with necromantic power. Let me see if I can actually find the name of this thing.
Gotcha. Well, I wave caution to the group, but while this does seem to be able to benefit us, it is imbued with necromantic power and likes to curse people. I don't know exactly what it is. I've never seen it or heard of it, but that's essentially what it does. I don't believe it'll ever run out of its magical liquid.
Is that for us to keep, or are we borrowing that?
She
I'm
handed it to
unsure.
me and told me to give it to you guys, and we let fate decide if you survived or not. There was no agreement to return it or ask of returning it. It's a gray area, just like all of this. All of this area is
Be
a gray
okay for a
area.
second. Be right back.
If you'd like, I could return it to her.
I would keep it. But that's me. I'm not friends with her, and she was less than helpful and thought it was a game. So, cost of a game is the cost of an item. I played her game, I won her item. That's how I see it.
Maybe it doesn't strike me as the kind of person to play games, but I'm also not. I'm not really concerned what we do with it. Just curious. We should turn our attention to preparing for tomorrow.
Agreed.
We got a date.
Whatever you wish to do with it, August is fine with me.
Yeah, if you want to keep it, I'm fine with that.
Okay. Other than the the looks of what you guys call Floki, are we sure that was him? Like, does he have powers to come back all the time like that? Because I've never met this guy.
I have no idea what powers he had. There were deals offered in the Amber Temple, and he seemed intent on taking any deal he could get his hands on. So
There we go. Merlin's spoon. I thought it was in 5th, but I can't find a stat block for it.
Would he have any reason for wanting, what's her name, Arena, dead?
only to anger Strahd.
I don't even, or us, I suppose, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what we can do about it at this point. It seems our path remains the same.
Gotcha. Just curious. He seemed like he wanted her to be dead.
Why do you say that?
He asked me to slit her throat.
Why would he ask you to do that?
I don't think it was a question more than he was trying to forcefully ask it, but I don't believe I gave in. Felt I resisted
That's
his
not a
statement.
comforting sentence.
I don't believe he gave it.
I don't believe I could tell you if I didn't resist his will.
You're more familiar with that kind of subject than I am, so I've really no choice but to trust you on that.
So I was just curious, so maybe that was Strahd mimicking your friend to cause more strife.
Wouldn't put it past him.
Strahd wouldn't want Irina hurt, though.
Hence the cause more
That's
strife.
true.
Because then if I was to do that, that would cause strife between us and we would fight between each other instead of interrupting his wedding.
But Strahd
But
wouldn't
if I
kill
even
his wife.
attempted that, right? Even if I attempted that.
Yeah, Strahd wouldn't kill his bride.
We'll have to think on it.
Can I do like a... Well,
Hmm.
I'm just gonna roll it.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I believe he's telling us the truth? That's what you're asking, right?
No, I'm
Oh.
trying to like think back to think of like how sure I was that was Floki. And I'm kind of feeling like for a 13, I don't have probably a strong conviction in it. So
You're definitely acted somewhat like Floki, and at least knew kind of some of the things you guys have been through and seemed fixated on you and Gideon. So it's not outside the realm of possibility that it was Floki, but you're.
But I didn't.
He said it was Floki.
I didn't have that. I didn't have that like anime. Our eyes locked, and I was like, "You son of a bitch." It was just sort of like, okay, that seemed like Floki, but
He had
meh,
bone wings, strange powers,
checks
anger
a
at
lot.
us.
Checks a lot of boxes.
Pretty
Just check a
Floki.
lot of boxes.
Should have asked to see his ID.
Did you didn't manage to throw any fire his way, did you? Oh, you did some.
Hmm.
He didn't respond very positively to that, if I
But he
remember right.
responded
Hmm.
with summoning hellhounds, which are fire based.
That's true. I don't know then.
I have an idea,
Mhm.
and I don't have. But please carry on. I didn't write this down. Oh God, because it's a fucking. While we're sorry, I was going to put this into a spell, but it's like 3 paragraphs. If we're kind of musing about this, and unless there's anything else we have going on today, I think I'm going to cast. Oh, it costs so much money. Never mind. Shit. Unless we have 1,000 gold laying around.
Mm, mm, not
What
for
costs
simple
1,000 gold?
questions.
Or I was going to cast Scrying, which means I need a focus worth 1,000 gold, such as a crystal ball, silver mirror, or a font filled with holy water. But maybe
What about a moose?
I
That
don't
is worth
think that
1,000 gold.
counts.
You can use your
Don't think
colorless
he's a
material
focus.
component.
Why?
But I
It's not
wonder.
consumed. It's not consumed. I wonder. Wait, which camp are we in again?
The circle.
Do you think a cup that's possibly, does it have any gems encrusted in this cup?
Yeah, it does many.
Do you think this could work?
Out of character, did you guys say Madame Ava's name already?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I got the cup.
I was actually going to go ask Madame Ava if perhaps she had a focus I could borrow, but
If you need to sweeten the deal, you could offer to return that cup. I'm really not eager to drink out of it. Seeing as it seems to have about a half and half chance on making you attack your allies.
if
August doesn't mind.
small
No,
sample
he's
size,
not
but
attached to it either.
how does this work? If I attempt to cast a spell, but I don't actually have the components I need, does the spell actually fizzle, or does it just like I can't even cast it?
I'm gonna say you would start to cast it and just be like, "This isn't working." Like,
Okay, I'll just take the
fire.
cup and see if I can use it to cast Scrying.
Okay,
It has a butt ton of text, so I'll try to put that in some sort of format.
let me go. I'll just
There's a whole
pop the compendium.
compendium, yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll see if
Okay.
this works. That's
Oof.
yeah. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Okay, it fits perfectly in chat or in the stream, so perfect.
There you go. You touch a creature. Wait, what?
Wait.
Wait,
That
no,
doesn't sound like a great
that's
spell.
What?
That's
Oh,
the
I'm
Strahd.
sorry.
curse.
I copied Bestow Curse. Sorry. That's
I mean,
the
yeah,
wrong one.
that totally happened.
Let's try this one, which doesn't fit in the script. Damn it.
You can see and hear a particular creature that you choose on the same plane of existence as you. The target must make a wisdom saving throw, which is modified by how well you know the target and the sort of physical connection you have to it. It can fail the saving throw voluntarily if it wants to be observed. Okay.
That's weird. So it knows that you scry it.
If it knows you're scrying it,
Yeah.
which can happen if you can see invisibility. You can see like an eye appear.
Like a little orb shows up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat. Oh, if the I got you. Sorry, I missed that part.
On a successful save, the target isn't infected, and you can't use the spell. It can sit again for 24 hours. Okay, let's go.
And then I guess I'm like, I don't know if we have anything. Skirp, do we have anything of Floki's in the bag there? The free market help us
Clothes,
with?
maybe.
Hang on. Free market. Loki's. Anything? Let's see. I've got I have a chisel. I don't know where that came from.
You're just like looking through your inventory slot, and you're like, I don't know how I got this. So it must
2
be-
hunting traps. Some holy water.
Hunting traps. I forgot about those.
I still have that lead-lined
Oh.
box of bones.
That were those his? I don't remember.
No.
Those,
Okay.
But-
no.
Oh, do you have a picture of him?
Oh, the
I mean-
book.
Yeah, that's what an idea. I want to crack the book open and flip back to the beginning.
All right. Well, not quite the beginning.
Actually,
the
I'm going to flip back
mid
to the Emperor
beginning.
Temple.
Mm.
You know what?
Oh.
For brevity's sake, I'm going to flip back 2 pages to the part where he killed me.
To what just
You are
happened.
still alive, not dead.
He killed me.
There in this book is this shows Skirp standing, in crayon drawn, shield out in front, rest of the party behind him, like kind of just like all like falling over each other, standing against this beam of just like solid like black scribble crayon that's hitting him in the shield, coming from this kind of amorphous blob with actually very well drawn wings coming off of it.
Thank
Though
you.
in the depiction, they're more bat-like than skeletal, but you get the idea. It also has a tail for some reason.
Nope, not that. Okay, I'm working on fixing the saving throw thing. Almost there.
So he effectively, so you're saying a likeness or a picture,
Mm-hmm.
he'd get -2 to his save, and he's familiar to you, so you'd get -5 to the save. So
Mhm.
-7 to his save.
Yeah, he needs to
Mhm.
make a DC 17 Wisdom saving throw at -5.
-7.
Okay.
-7.
That's
sorry.
some Pathfinder numbers right there.
Yeah. Ozeb,
Coming. D20.
+2.
Hey.
-7. So
It overflows.
it does overflow. It fails. The spell creates a sensor within 10 feet of the target. You can see and hear through the sensor as if you were there. Now I need to see an invisible sensor. All right, Floki. What weird powers do you have? Let's find out. Do you know this is here?
Okay, while he's looking it up,
Yeah,
I
sorry.
stepped away for a second.
Mhm.
Did we rest yet?
We're like kind of
We're
actively
mid-rest.
short resting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
guess.
guys are mid-ish
We're at the
rest.
beginning of our short rest, or long rest, that is.
Okay, great, cool.
Waiting for you guys to get
Thanks.
through and then be like, okay, we're done doing other things. Now we long rest.
Script's done until the end of the long rest.
It does. If he notices it, he doesn't react at all. And you see this creature flying, almost like this over-the-shoulder cam, and he is coming in on the castle. It looks like he starts making like a lap high above the castle, flies around it in a circle, before eventually landing on a very high, some kind of like balcony or landing on the castle. There appears to be a door here. Do I have this? The AU map.
Memorize this for dim door purposes later.
I think only
Bad idea.
Tally can see.
So it's kind of a castle parapet, and there's a wooden railing, a set of what looks to be spiral stairs, 10 feet away from what looks to be like another tower coming up from it. The stairs descend, and then this bridge. There's a bridge. It looks like all the railings have since rotten away or broken away. Goes into another tower. In this tower, you see Floki walking up. and he's looking around. Looks like he's trying to be careful. He grabs the door and opens it. And in front of him, he's just bathed in red light. And he steps in, and the censor follows him. And he looks up, and as if to follow him, his line of sight, your sensor kind of pans up your view with him, and they're hanging in this tower. This tower has a set of spiral stairs going both down and up from this position, but kind of suspended on this level of it looks like a human heart made of crystal, and it's pulsing and beating like with this just almost sickening bright red light. And you can see Floki look back over his shoulder, stop for a second, kind of like tilt his head, and then he sneers, and then he continues walking down the stairs. How long does this last for?
10 minutes.
Okay. Let me see. Walking down the stairs. You tricksy hobbitses.
Right.
And I'm just like I'm just kind of passing on what I'm seeing. Like he's walking down these stairs and they just seem to keep going.
As he's walking down the stairs, all of a sudden the whole tower seems like it's shaking. Like it just like lurches to one side, and he loses his footing for a second, and it looks like he might fall down this just massive center shaft that just disappears in the darkness, and then he catches himself on the air and beats his wings, and he looks up and still sees the heart there pulsing, and then he just kind of slowly lets himself glide all the way down. You hear him shout, and he shouts Strahd's name as loud as he possibly can. Strahd, you coward. Where's the woman? Where are you? Come out and face me. There's just silence, and he continues to descend until he eventually holy crap, he's in the... Okay. Good for you, Floki. Good for you. I have to find how far down this shaft goes. He continues gliding down this impossibly big, basically spiral stair until eventually it ends at... Where do you end at? Ed's at basically a landing, and he goes. The landing appears to just be made of stone. He walks out, and from this, he is standing in what looks to be some kind of hallway. But there's broken furniture everywhere, and yeah, just a ton and ton of broken furniture. He's at this point he's just like going through random doors trying to find something. He opens another door, and this door is opens up to another staircase, and that staircase descends downward, and he follows that downward into the darkness. Neither you nor he appear to be bothered by the darkness. He comes to another landing. This landing, you feel like you can feel the descent as it goes down. It's a long way down. He looks around, and you see casks of wine nearby. And again, he looks around and yells, Strahd! You coward, face me! And it's at that point that 3 of the casks burst open, and a vampire spawn charge Floki,
Ooh.
and you lose the connection.
Sounds like he's kicking down doors and setting off traps for us.
Well, that confidence is going to be useful for us, I think.
What do we know of the heart?
I thought it was a metaphor. Beating heart of the castle. It's like, okay, the deepest part of the castle.
But it actually has a heart. There's a heart there.
Ah,
It's blaring red.
Yeah.
It's beating.
Scarf.
We were warned that by Lord Leo Silnia, that the heart was one of the things that we will need to kill Strahd.
I thought it was like stab him in the heart, you know?
The
Might
book, the symbol, and the heart.
Right? Okay, so sue me. I thought it was all metaphor.
Look to great heights. Find the beating heart of the castle. He waits nearby.
So
He
we're
waits
destined
nearby?
to find Strahd near that heart.
Maybe.
Okay. I was wondering why Floki flew to the top of the castle and was surprised not to find Strahd. That makes more sense now.
Apparently his destiny's changed.
Also, beware of casks.
Hmm.
Good old Amontillado. So,
On that, I'm sleeping. That August is gonna take that and sleep and ponder.
Skirp is in long rest mode.
okay.
Do we return the goblet?
We have not. She used it to cast.
No, I'm asking, like, do we return it?
Oh, I wasn't gonna go out of my way to.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah, oh
want
sorry.
to be rude.
I hand the goblet back to August once I'm done using it to channel.
Even if I don't ever plan to use it, I don't necessarily need more curse bestowing items upon the people here, so I'm content with just carrying it until I can give it to the Raven Queen to destroy type thing is what August is thinking, unless you guys have a reason to give it back to her. He was just gonna like store it to destroy later.
Okay, if they ask for it though, we're returning it.
Right, absolutely. No, he's not looking to make drama, but he's right in the gray area if she didn't necessarily say to return it.
Thank you for the follow.
Okay.
Does that mean long
Long
rest for
rest.
everybody?
Yeah.
Believe so.
All right. Long rest yourselves. Um,
Would now be a reasonable time for a bio break?
yeah, we can do that. I'm actually out of water, so
Yeah, same.
I could
Plus,
save
I
and
got-
get somewhere.
Let's
I
take
got dinner
5.
strewn about.
Yep, let's take
Um,
5.
Sounds good. All right, chat. We're gonna take a 5-minute break, and I'll give you a little background tunes while we are on a little break.
Be right back. saw is ready.
It's on.
Red 5 standing by.
Green 5 standing by.
Nice. Is your green squadron?
Alright, probably in the extended universe.
There is now.
Fanfics. So
Yep. Waiting on Rap and Zip.
August is
Oh wait,
returned.
I'm just now appreciating that, like how badly some of the Star Wars authors got screwed by Disney. Like, can you imagine having like the most renowned works of the extended universe be demoted to the same level of canon as fanfics?
Yeah, I hated that
I
Disney did that.
Like, you built the bones of
I
this,
hear
this
you,
universe.
but at the same time, if Disney was going to do any story at all, they were going to at some point wreck
Oh yeah,
someone's book. In fact, a lot of those books contradicted each other in many ways. Generally not in major ways, but in little ones.
sure.
And someone would have a hill to die on for every single canon change.
I've been listening to 40K lore, and their concept is, look, everything is canon, and it definitely contradicts itself, so just don't worry about it.
Nice.
Timey-wimey stuff.
There are people on the
Yeah.
Star Wars subreddit who were upset because Ahsoka's
Chaos.
dialogue was different in the new season of Clone Wars in a scene that was flashed back in a book. Yeah, it's like it's the same conversation. It's
boy.
just the dialogue is a little different, so they're angry about that.
I mean,
The banter, though, the banter.
well, and there are little things that matter, though, right? Like Han shooting first.
Well, yeah, but
You're like, such a small change, but
In my mind,
fundamentally,
it actually doesn't
scary.
matter that much. Mm.
As an adult, like as a kid, I didn't understand the difference at all. But like,
yeah, Han shooting first is kind of maybe not character defining, but it informs a lot. You know.
I was watching New Hope for the first time, and Han just shot a guy who was
Ugh. Right.
who was
It's
coming
so
after him
good.
for a legit bounty. Like,
Yeah, but I
Oh.
think even without that, you get quite a bit of his character. Like, I don't think it changes much. It's just a really good way of presenting it.
all right, I'm ready.
I'm
Banter.
back. I'm ready.
Time for banter.
Banter.
You guys are
Team.
just somehow
ban-
managing to talk about, Star Wars canon over the
Banter is
campfire.
Yeah, you guys have heard that part too.
Hmm.
So
I
they
just-
call
I
it,
don't know how all
they
those
call it
bards.
a star of death.
Oh man.
I
Star
just
of
had a
Death, can you
horrible
imagine?
thought.
What's that?
What if the reason why Castle Ravenloft has a beating heart is because it's one gigantic mimic?
Stop reading ahead.
Gideon, just for chat purposes, what's your hit points at right now?
79 and a 79.
Barovia is
you.
the mimic.
Although
Just
if we get a speech
Maybe
from
we've been in
Skirp,
the mimic's digestive system this entire time.
it's all a dream, guys.
The
Don't worry
land is a
about it.
mimic.
Funny you should say that.
For the last 3.5 years, guys, we've just been playing the tutorial.
We fell into the Sarlacc pit.
The real game starts now.
Is this the day of the wedding, or we have one more day?
Dawn of the final day.
This
Yeah.
is the
This
day of the
is-
wedding.
Is that so?
Hmm.
Well,
All right.
okay. Oh, are you gonna do some
Oh
talk?
well. Yeah, go ahead. I mean, go ahead. And,
Okay.
Speech.
You're gonna have a speech.
Okay.
Since this is the dawn of the final day, you guys will wake up, and within the camp, there's going to be an unforetold, unreasonable amount of food. all the best food that you could possibly think of. Skirp, what's your favorite food?
Children.
Pie.
There are pies as big as you are. In fact,
Yes.
bigger. You could swim in them. What's Gideon's favorite food?
Oh God. Potatoes. Just
Damn it.
yep.
He's a simple man.
Fresh butter though.
That's fair. That's fair.
Potatoes.
You have
Butter.
the Bubba Gump shrimp
He's never had.
exposition of all the different types. There's the potatoes you knew and grew up with and you loved as a child, and then there's so many other varieties.
Hash brown
That-
potatoes, scallop potatoes, baked potatoes, French fried
Baked scallop
potatoes,
potatoes, exactly.
Potato scallops.
twice baked potatoes, mashed potatoes,
Thrice baked potatoes.
August,
Four
what would
times baked potatoes.
potatoes. There's just raw potatoes on the table.
fried potatoes, fried twice potatoes, fried 3 times potatoes with cheese?
Oh my
Uh,
God.
August, what
Microwave
would
leftover French fries.
God damn it. All right,
This is
all
what
right.
the game is
We'll
now.
continue,
Deviled
we'll continue the
eggs.
rest of the potato medley after the show. August, what would be
Deviled
the
eggs.
most magnificent food or drink? Deviled eggs?
Yep.
Just arranged quite artistically, almost in some sort of like effigy to the Raven Queen. Maybe even I don't know if it's gauche, but even maybe in the shape of a raven made out of deviled eggs. I don't know how it's done,
Nice.
but just like everything you can possibly imagine. I'm cashing in that Hero's Feast.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Takes 1 hour to consume. What a breakfast.
Yeah, we got a long haul ahead of us, right?
Let's see.
Cured of all diseases and poison. Becomes immune to poison and being frightened. Makes all will saving throws with advantage. Its hit point maximum is also increased by 2d10 and gains the same amount of hit points. This benefits last for 24 hours. Who rolls that 2d10?
Each of us, I assume.
I mean,
I'll allow
I'd
it.
take a single. All right, deal.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do a single roll, that's fine too. But
All right,
How about-
I'm going.
I'm going to roll mine first, and then you guys can decide.
We can decide.
I mean, okay, I'll take your 15
Ooh,
because
yeah, I'll take your 15.
There you go. If that's kosher.
Okay, fine. Why not? It's your spell.
So, does it stack with inspiring speech?
It's
Yes.
maximum hit point increase,
Your
not
maximum hit
temporary
points
hit
is-
points.
Yeah.
All right, I'm still going to put it in the temporary hit point column.
Ty, that was from a scroll, right?
That's right.
Okay.
But that means you can be healed up to 15 points more than your max HP now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
but-
10 HP.
If I overwrite 88 on my
Yeah.
character sheet, I'm going to forget it.
You could do like 88 plus 15.
That's a good idea. Does that work?
It has for me in the past, but it's also just your max, so like whatever.
Yeah, but does it go through to the token, or is that recorded separately? Yeah, we'll figure it out.
It's on your character sheet. I think you'll be okay.
Got to figure it out. Okay.
I did it on my character sheet. It works. Seems like it.
Oh, now that we're all like we've eaten, and I think we're packing to go, right? Unless anybody has anything else.
No.
No.
Kilt, everyone else, listen to me for a second. Today we may live the final verse of our ballad. Okay? We, knights of goodness all, cannot stand by, idly ignore Strahd's trespasses. We've known that this was coming, perhaps since we first found the myths, but today we're realizing our destiny. Kidnapping and enslaving an innocent one under our protection, it can't stand. We draw the line, and we're coming for his black. I guess it's red, but his evil heart. This wedding will not stand. We didn't survive liches and curses and doll makers and treacherous burger people and gargoyles and werewolves and biting sticks and savage barbarians and monster trees and zombie attacks, Grey Knights and sorcerers, ghost libraries, and flaming skulls and witches and Floki for just to die to some stupid little vampire. I'm not gonna let him walk all over us. Today is the last day that we live under Strahd's domain. Okay? If Strahd is the land, as they say, then we will be the cleansing fire. Should we die, Kilt will tell our story. I've arranged for him to return to Falaki. And he'll tell the story of how we stood for hope and we stood for people. Let no one speak our names in the same breath as those like Horngard, who would stand by and do nothing. But should we live, the good and righteous people of Barovia will see the light of our triumph, and they will be returned to the world. For Barovia, for Argynvost, and for Arena, Strahd dies. So
Clap, clap, clap. My mic wasn't picking up my clapping, so
that's okay.
sorry.
It's okay. I knew it. I felt it.
What is the benefit of that for the final time?
Hang on.
11.
Hang on. I wrote it down.
11
Hmm.
temp
It is 11
HP.
HP.
Wow, I'm almost in triple digits.
Skirp is in the teens, sitting at
I'm at
18.
105.
Baby. Baby, baby, baby.
On top of that, you guys may also add inspiration.
What is that?
You can choose a roll to have advantage on.
Mm.
Isn't there a box for that somewhere?
Yes,
So the
it's
first
Main
page.
character
next
sheet.
to your death
Next to
saves.
death save throws.
Got it. Thank you. I was looking for that earlier. Oh, I get to undeath save. Cool. Click, click, click.
Click, click, click.
You
Got
do.
Not dead yet.
That's
Or
right.
again. Not dead again.
You have me at 114, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I have your
Gideon should
max
be at
HP at
105.
103 with 11 temporary hit points.
That's a good question. Let me check it really quick because mine might also be max hit points. Class.
No,
Say-
it's just temporary hit points. It's different.
Yep, you're right.
Gideon's current health is 105 out of 79, and then 94 in quotes like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Currently at 92. My well, I think my current max is then 81.
Yeah.
Yep. Good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna send Kilt. I messaged Pef and made arrangements. So
Okay. You
I'm
traded
going to
into the Vistani, didn't you?
God.
you noticed 2 or 3 more pies in my bag.
There's so many pies right here.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say I got them from the Vistani.
Oh,
None of them are dream pies, I hope.
I'm gonna be stashing some of this breakfast, whatever's left over. I'm gonna be stashing it in my pack as well.
Oh, it disappears after an hour.
You know what?
He
Maybe it
doesn't know
does.
that.
Maybe it doesn't. We'll find out. Okay. So
I'm hoping we leave it like after the 45-minute mark, and then like he loads up his bag and he's super heavy on the food, and then all of a sudden he just feels lighter. We can convince him he had a bowel movement.
Oh.
got an extra spring in my step.
actually, so we've got what And was Kilt with us? this
Kilt
morning?
was with us, but he's leaving
Right up
after
until we left.
breakfast.
Okay. Well, I was just going to say, if we wanted to, I don't know if it's helpful, or we could just say, let's hand wave and not worry about it. But if we want horses, this feast can technically feed 8 more people.
How about Moose?
Does he eat?
No.
I
We
mean,
could ride him.
I
don't
think
think
you'd
that's
have to
what
be
he
able to be.
I mean,
I
he's
think
got a
that's-
mouth. I
Is
just
he a
don't know what
creature?
happens. Yes.
He's a construct.
One that partakes of the feast?
I'm gonna say no. I don't think he
Okay.
needs it anyway.
I guess I was saying we could trade some of this awesome food for renting some horses.
Mm. Or we could just rent some horses.
That's fine. Let's do that.
Okay, you are borrowing horses or
That's right.
bartering for horses from the Vistani.
Yes.
Yes.
Fair enough.
I'll go for whatever price I can if you'd like me to roll for it and then suffer the consequences.
Yeah, let's have a persuasion and tell us how you're trying to persuade them.
He makes a plea to oh god, unwisely mentions that they're heading to the castle to crash the wedding. We've already determined they're friendly, but Gideon is an idiot when it comes to these things, and
Perhaps mistakenly, you've decided to deal with the same Vistani as yesterday.
mm,
And he's no, my friend. The horses, that may be a one-way trip. So, how about 75 gold pieces per horse?
per horse. Hold on,
Say-
let me talk to my friends.
Say, friend, or are you like off bartering on your own?
No,
Okay. Hey, what's your favorite kind of food? If you could have anything right now,
If he could have anything right now, it would be borscht.
funny enough, it just so happens, I kind of point to the table, and maybe like August or the Iron Giant like moves out of the way, and there's just a pile of borscht there. I'll let you get first dibs on that if you can cut us a deal.
Persuasion with advantage.
Oh, I'll just do it once more for fun. There.
There you go. He is convinced by this, and is okay with lowering the price to 25 gold pieces per horse.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. We have that much, right? I have no idea
yes.
how much money we have.
Gideon himself is carrying like 1,200. And
Oh,
so
okay.
is Scarab.
You guys are rich.
My associate will finalize the transaction with you. That sounds great.
He's already like down like both arms, like spoons in his face. He's like, yeah, just leave the bag on the table. Horses are, you can see the horses. They're over at the river, watering.
Okay. Gideon will pay the man. Let's see, it was 15 gold each, so 60 and then 25. We really only need 2 horses, right? 3
Yeah,
horses.
you could effectively ride double if you wanted to.
Do we need one for what's his name? Kilt.
Oh,
Kilt's not gonna
he's already
walking.
made his own accommodations.
Okay. Yeah, whatever makes sense.
And I can fly.
Okay, so 3 horses. 135
The
gold I just spent
goblin
in
can,
this camp.
can ride the golem. You only need 2.
Wait, isn't it 75 gold?
It is, but I also paid for our tent accommodation.
Oh,
Mhm.
gotcha. All right. Well, not like we're gonna have much use for gold once we're dead.
Yeah, but Gideon cares about gold.
Do you not want gold? I can hang on to it. Be fine.
Goblin
Sure,
cares
you can
about
hold on
his
to my gold.
too.
You're
You have all
already
my
holding
gold.
on to Tally's gold.
That's true.
Here's the 10 gold pieces that I have to my name.
You guys are just loading up kilts.
No,
Is that
it's
what's going
Skirp.
on?
We're loading it up.
Okay, I
Actually-
thought you were loading up
actually-
Kilt. I was like, what?
Actually, I'm gonna. Does Kilt have any money?
No.
Did you give any spending money to your boy?
I
He's supposed to get an allowance. You're his father now.
I'm
was the
his
wage?
patron, but you're right. But Bev, how much for the Vistani to escort him?
They're actually taking a liking to him, and so they're saying that they will do it for 20 gold pieces.
I'll just take that deal outright, and then I will give Kilt another 20 gold pieces to sort of help him, find shelter or like somebody to take care of him or get started on his own, whatever he needs to do when he gets to Vistani, just in case. So
Perfect.
All
Okay.
right.
You
Updated
guys
my gold.
mount and head off unless there's anything else you wish to take care of.
Nope.
Nope.
We ride straight for Strahd's Castle Ravenloft.
Okay,
Sounds good to me.
let us get back out to the map. Why does it always go up there?
We
guys
just
are
gotta
dumb.
see that picture.
Every time. All right. And so you ride.
So, the Iron Giant is gonna have to jog to keep up with us.
Oh,
I
It's
poor
don't
gonna be
guy.
think he
quite
can
loud.
actually be exhausted, so
No,
shouldn't be a problem.
but it's gonna be quite loud. Just the whole forest shaking. See trees swaying in the distance as he goes by.
All right. The road that has been so fraught with peril is eerily quiet on this last journey. Ruts of previous wagons mark the Slavic road like fossils as you venture closer to Castle Ravenloft. Through these silent hills and watchful forests, your horses continue on with no music but the sound of hooves and nervous silence. The further east you go, the day darkens into dusk, unnaturally so, and the wind begins to howl like a neglected child. The rain swells from mere tears to a storm that shakes the very valley. But the roads, you notice, do not turn to mud. They do not worsen. Curiously enough, the closer you draw to Ravenloft, the quicker your horses appear to run. The faster your mounts move. As you near the belly of the beast, it seems almost to welcome you. Just as you crest the last hill, the tallest of Ravenloft's spires hails you, its awesome presence both startling and ominous. A drawbridge spans a gorge that plummets into unseen depths, its chains moan with the wind. And so it has come to this, heroes, the darkest hour of your quest. You stand in the shadow of Castle Ravenloft, in the shadow of the devil himself. The road has been paved with blood and broken hopes. Will you triumph against Strahd? Or will you join the legion of fools buried beneath his iron heel? Might your gods watch over you. Might the strength of your arms and the courage in your hearts be enough to overcome this final challenge. For here in Barovia, all is not well. It can never be well, so long as this valley and its people suffer under the curse of Strahd. Your horses approach the courtyard. Let me get you guys tokeny right where we're supposed to be. You're gonna have to fix your tokens because they've looked better. Also, this map is massive, so your tokens will appear to be very small, at least initially. Even tallies. Okay. Can you guys see anything yet?
Yep.
Perfect.
Oh,
Including
jeez.
That looks script size.
blue lines.
Oh, okay.
Oof.
The courtyard teems with thick, cold fog. Lightning lances the weeping clouds, while thunder shakes the very stones of this place. A hunched figure shelters from the dismal rain nearby, nursing his lantern. As your mounts pull up, his monstrous face comes into view. Scales line his left cheek. Panther's ears protrude beneath his hood, and one foot is that of a duck's. When his yellowed gob opens, you find that its voice is as grating and hideous as his face. Ah, yes, it's you. Yes, yes. Welcome to Ravenloft. Your arrival is most anticipated indeed. I am the master's servant, Cyrus of Bellevue. It's actually Bellevue, by the way. Bel view, as in to view something. Welcome. The beast man chuckles and rubs his hands together. Your horses. Oh, yes, your horses. I will take your horses. Yes, yes, yes. Into the keep with you. Most anticipated. Oh, yes. And he comes up and attempts to approach your mounts and you. He has a lantern, no weapons you can see, and seems hopeful on taking your horses.
Gideon dismounts. The he's kind of clumsy about it and stumbles a bit because he's not a very good horse rider. Okay, out of character question. We've seen a creature kind of like this before.
Absolutely.
Was it this exact creature? He's pretty distinctive.
No.
Okay.
The ones that Gideon is remembering are at Kresk, within the Abbey, but
Yeah.
they are of a similar kind of mix match of, um, different types of animals, kind of stitched together, almost chimera-like. Who does, however, appear very friendly.
Go dismount.
Where are you taking the horses?
Oh, to the stables, of course. They must be brushed and out of this horrible, horrible weather. And as he says the last, there's this massive just crash of thunder.
Yeah, okay. I'll dismount. Surrender the horse.
Very good, very good. That way, please. And with the hand not holding the lantern, he points towards the front doors of Ravenloft, where you guys have. So this way.
Yeah, we've been in there before, right?
Yep, you have been in there before. You see that the doors are ever so slightly cracked. There are sconces lining the way in.
As we're about to make our way there, I ask him, "Do you know how long before the ceremony begins?"
Sorry, had a cough. Some hours yet, some hours. I believe the master wishes to speak with you. Speak with Rahadin. He will tell you, yes. The Chamberlain.
Look to the
Again,
others.
out of character question. We met Rahadin before, right? The last time we were here for dinner?
Yeah, creepy elf. There appear to be like screams always around him, but he doesn't react to them in any way.
And we if I remember right, we tried to ditch him and then he just reappeared really close to us or something, right?
Yeah, it was pretty much anytime you turn the corner, he was just,
There.
right behind you.
Smart waiter.
There's this old bug in one of the Sherlock games with Watson that's kind of the same
Yes.
way. Where you
Yeah.
just barely turn, and as soon as your point of view changes, Watson's right there.
That's why I
Super
wrote
creepy.
Watson next to his name in my notes.
Yes, there you go. I'm glad you guys get that reference. I appreciate that. I need to go find that. There's a clip of that somewhere.
Yes, with good music.
Mhm.
Well, shall we head in?
Yes, of course.
You see him, badly collect the reins of the horses. They really don't like him. They're, you know, they eventually kind of acquiesce a little bit, but they fight him, and he trods off to the north with the horses in tow. And you
Think
guys
we
head for the front doors.
As soon as
Yeah.
I'm 100% certain that we're out of earshot from him, like around the corner and such. I say, so we're gonna try to quote unquote get lost and end up downstairs, right? That's the plan.
certainly have a few hours, it sounds like. I imagine we're not going to be. I imagine there'll be some amount of room for us to maneuver. Yes.
Okay, just let's not get separated, and uh, we'll slip away as soon as we can. We'll try not to start the party early if we don't have to.
Indeed.
Okay,
All right.
then I'm heading in.
Okay.
Let's go.
Moose at my heels.
You are at the front entryway. Something weird going on with the light right there, but whatever. It's fine. It works.
It's like the
I
doors
think
are cracked.
I think there's too many light sources just stacked on top of each other right there. And it doesn't know what to do about it.
Tally is my only light source.
I'll try moving that and see if it changes anything.
Doing my civic duty.
Okay. The doors are just ever so slightly ajar. There are sconces. You're familiar with this entryway. You've seen it before.
We walked around a little bit on this main floor before. Do I remember any route downstairs that I saw?
You remember
It's been so long for
very
me.
briefly. It has been both in game and otherwise. There is a sort of like hall area right before you went into the dining room, and you guys would have very obviously remembered seeing a set of spiral stairs off to the. I'm going to assume that's just east. Yeah, it's
Like
east.
the right of us. Okay.
Yeah. I just
Was
want to
there
make sure this map is actually oriented properly. So,
were those the same spiral staircases I saw Floki go down, or were those
uh,
different?
no, they would have been different.
Okay.
They're the ones he went down were rather grand. They were
Okay.
large.
Gotcha. And these are much smaller,
The
more
ones
utilitarian.
if you guys discuss amongst yourselves, you're like, there's a small, set versus what you were describing when you're scrying was, this big, massive, clinging to the outside of this great tower, whereas these ones are pretty tight.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking for a symbol of great hope somewhere in the underside
Mm-hmm.
that you have, through divination, confirmed is in the
The lower
lower 50% of the castle.
half.
50%.
Right? It was the lower half of the castle. I don't know.
So, how about that front door?
We go through it. Well, it's open, right?
Yep. Approach if you dare.
You guys ready?
Yep.
I really
I
have no idea
approach.
what's going on. All right.
Oh.
As you do, you see a familiar sight, the elf Rahadin standing in the doorway. And the light coming out is nearly blinding as you step in from the dismal rain and into the entry, but it's hardly inviting. You hear a cold and distant music floating from the innards of the keep. Overhead, you see dragon statues glaring down at you in the torchlight, and corpses clad in armor stand in the corners of the room. As an elf moves forward towards you, you know him to be Rahadin, the Chamberlain of Castle Ravenloft. You hear just countless voices as you get close to him, and screaming in terror and rage and pain. He stands just stoically. And in a grim voice and tones, our most anticipated guests, please step forward and be recognized in the house of von Zarovich.
Look back to the others and shrug and go along with him.
Yeah, so just to be clear, he's standing there, just kind of in the center of the room. And there are also very clearly 4 undead creatures in the corners. They're not hiding. They're not trying to pretend to be statues or anything. They're just kind of standing there at attention, effectively.
Doing what undead do.
Yep.
I'll give him a nod. Rahadin, was it? I believe we've met before. Nice to see you're as charming as ever.
He just kind of gives you a curt nod. He says, "Yes, quite so." What you pinging at there?
Is it Skirp back there?
Yeah.
Okay. If he's not coming, that's fine.
As you enter, Rahadin is very, as I said, Cody says, as honored guests of Count Strahd, there are certain expectations to be had. Guest right will not be ignored, and you must swear the oath of hospitality. For tonight we celebrate this glorious union. No harm shall come to you in these halls unless you provoke it, and so the Lord of this house expects the same. Swear to me, here and now, at this hour, swear to me, as the honored servant of Strahd of House von Zarovich, Lord of this house and Lord of all of Barovia, swear to spill no blood, unsheath no sword, respect thine host, and obey his laws. Swear to this, all of it, or be gone. Does anybody have the noble background?
Sorry, what?
Does anybody have the background noble?
Oh. I don't think so.
Moose does. I'm just kidding.
The most noble of steel guardians.
He adjusts his monocle slightly.
No, I don't think any of us have the noble background.
Anybody trained in history?
Not history of
An
Barovia.
intelligence skill in my Curse of Strahd campaign?
Good job, guys.
More likely than you think.
That's gonna be a no.
All right, don't worry about it.
How can Skirp not be trained in history?
I have learned many parts of history.
You have?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
He clears his throat
I look.
and
I got.
I'll look at the party and kind of shrug and say, "Well, we want to go in, right?"
Not under like muzzle and chains. I'm not sure we have an option.
Okay, hold on. I just heard it a second ago, but it's leaked out of my head. What was this oath again? The actual text of the swear to obey? Respect?
yes, it is the oath of hospitality. Swear to spill no blood, unsheath no sword, respect thine host, and obey his laws.
You obey his laws is kind of bothersome to me.
Tell me before I swear your oath. What are the is it the guest rights that you spoke of?
Simply that if you respect your host, our gracious Lord Strahd, that he promises no harm shall come to you. You shall be welcomed here as guests.
hesitate to swear the oath if it'll leave me defenseless should Strahd decide to break his word. If Strahd as host swears not to threaten or attack or weave spells upon me or anyone under my protection, then I'll agree to abide by his
He already
his
kidnapped
rules.
Karina. How can you trust him?
I
That
don't
wasn't
trust
under
him.
the oath of hospitality, though. Now you're just in his house and he's trying to be cool about it.
We've been here before. He attacked us last time. At dinner.
It wasn't really an attack.
I mean,
Like, the lights went out and there were some bats.
there was damage taken, and then we had to carve our way out through chains or whatever. I can't remember that was holding the gate closed.
So he broke his word last time. Why should we trust his word this time? Granted, I wasn't here. August wasn't.
Yeah, August, you stay out of this.
Stand up.
We are guests. We will behave. Or try our best to. Some of us aren't as refined, perhaps. Myself included. I think this is the only way
This is
for
the
us
way.
to.
As long as those I care for, I deem them safe from him, I will hold this oath. Is that good enough?
He nods. Says very well.
Okay, so I have all eyes on you background trait because I made my own background, so I don't have noble. Did that work for this instance?
And what does that do?
I'm pasting in the chat. 1 second.
I'll say that specifically you'll know that the oath of hospitality is kind of a big deal. But in the way that it was presented, there wasn't any sort of like, wordplay or legal trickery. It was, stated as expected.
Right, but could I use this particular trait to bypass that oath to get us in? Because it says it gain us parlay attention into access to people and places that we may not otherwise have.
Not to bypass this oath, no. Rahadin will expect that it is sworn thus.
Gotcha. That's what I was more referring to. I feel this oath, if we take it, will end up hurting us in our greatest time of need. But I also don't believe we have another option to get in beyond this entryway without taking this oath.
I agree. And then, like, under her breath, she's like, also, it's just an oath. I don't understand why we're freaking out about.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. I assume let's go means you're going to try to make for the door.
Oh, I mean, Gideon already got the nod that
Okay.
his was okay.
Oh,
So,
do we all need to individually?
Well, just as a party agree, effectively. But,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. And as you might consider heading for the door, he holds up a hand and says, "This is not done quite yet, guests."
Mm.
The last is very, if he could have sworn at you, an epithet, it would have been in that way. He says, "Given your history, I must insist that you disarm yourselves. It is, after all, a wedding. Such things are not needed. Your belongings will be returned to you at the evening's end, and our Lord has promised that no harm will come to you and yours tonight should you choose to behave."
You can tell from Gideon's whole body posture that this is an unworkable
Just bristles instantly.
He like you see him like reaching for all of his weapons at once.
We've already agreed to the oath of hospitality. I think none of us wish to break that.
As would we all. However, your many journeys are known well to us, as are your, shall we call them, issues with our Lord Strahd.
Disarmed.
This was always going to happen, wasn't it?
Oh God.
Not my
I
fault.
was waiting for this moment.
The undead all, like, as those hit the ground, all of their heads turn and look at them. And then they look up at Skirp. Jeez. It's just going through his...
It's a. You'll have to excuse him. It's a large bag. He's quite the collector.
Rahadin looks a little annoyed. But you can also see that, like, the edge of his mouth just curls up ever so slightly. He says, "While I appreciate your cleverness with words, I do, of course, mean your weapons."
Oh. Yeah, right. I guess I'll. Right, are we gonna do it? But
Hey, so this is a thing I've never used of mine before. We've been
Okay.
interacting for a minute now or so.
Yes.
I would like to use my Know Your Enemy feature
Okay.
from Battlemaster.
wow.
Wow.
I would like to know on Rahadin specifically if he is my equal, superior, or inferior in armor class and HP.
Oh shit.
What is your armor class and what is your HP?
Uh,
I don't like it. I think I had to ask.
19 and 105.
Whew.
And what are the specific wordings? Superior, equal, or...
Yeah, equal, superior, or inferior on 2 categories of my choice.
Equal and superior.
Oh,
My
holy shit.
my eyebrows raise a little bit of respect.
Okay. Hang on.
Rahadin has seen some things.
Rahadin. Just to be clear, you know who we are, right?
He's gonna try that.
He nods his head, just doesn't say anything. Just
Not a threat. I'm just saying. I just want we're not just names on a list. Like you're generally aware of us, right?
Do you know who I am?
That's
Okay.
exactly what's happening right now.
I'm just saying that if you take his sword, like that's not the most dangerous thing about us. Like disarming is kind of a formality, isn't it? Like
And he again nods and says, "The niceties must be observed."
I mean, I don't think that this puts us at too much of a disadvantage. If things come to blows, that's what I'm saying. Moose get to come in?
Moose is my manservant. Of course he can come in.
Yeah.
He sighs, like heavily sighs. He says, "Yes, the creature may also accompany you."
Well,
Okay. Out of character. Moose doesn't have any like storage compartments or anything, right? Like,
No, he does not.
I'm not gonna make the shield golem a freaking mule.
I mean, if he has a
Why
mouth,
not?
can he swallow the sword hilt and just cough it
Oh
up
my
later?
god.
why is his head looking straight up? Or around it?
Gideon's body language is still that this is unworkable. He's not entering this place without weapons.
I believe you guys should meet us halfway, for it's part of our
Religion.
garb for a wedding to be royally dressed. And for us,
Look
as
how fancy this crossbow
warriors
is.
are,
It
we
is
are
ornate.
here in our military garb to show our respects.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a persuasion check.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn away a little bit, try and like buff the spots out of my breastplate. Just use my sleeve, like
Adjust your cape.
that being said, well, he's persuading. Do the undead on the outside look intelligent?
Funny you should ask that. They look a little bit more intelligent than you would be comfortable with, and you can tell that they appear to be eyeing you with hunger.
I'm gonna kick Tally and kind of gesture at her,
Mm-hmm.
just so she's aware.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're zombies.
God damn it!
They're wearing armor.
You're gonna hold
just
that
saying.
over me for how long?
That's not what I meant.
Okay. You have one bad trip.
Persuasion work or insight roll? I don't know.
You see him think about it, and he eventually shakes and says, "No, I'm afraid Lord Strahd insists."
But he also insisted that we were here. He can't have everything his way. It's not his wedding day, it's hers. If the bride gets her way, what does the bride want?
Should you agree to these terms, I will be able to tell you exactly what the bride has requested.
Interesting.
Is part of the bride's request for my companions to not be in their royal military garb? I mean, I have no weapons to hand you. I have a dagger. I'm willing to hand you, which I'll give it to him. It's just a simple dagger. That's all the weapons I carry.
He stands to the side and motions, says, "You may pass inside then." However, the bride's request did not mention weapons, and it is the lord of this castle's request. A little bit more forceful with the last.
I tried.
I'll give him my mace that I never use. Sure.
Totally unworkable. Gideon's still holding the crossbow, but not in as gesturing of a way.
Tally, he looks at you and says, "Surely you won't need your shield in this place as well."
It is a religious artifact, more so than it is a weapon. It's also
Very
a
well.
shield. It's very defensive.
You may pass as well. All right, that's half the party.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll go next. I unsling the light crossbow from my hip,
Mhm.
and I disattach the war pick from where it's affixed to my backpack, and I hand him over.
He raises an eyebrow and he says, "And your other weapon?"
Oh, yeah.
Isn't he a
Yeah.
guest? Isn't the weapon sentient? Drops chisel.
Chisel.
He just looks like at his feet. There's this chisel. The other weapon.
I have these gallows, but
Don't stick your finger in there.
Or do. No, those are.
Are you going? I mean, you could attempt to hide it on you since it's effectively a lightsaber hilt.
I mean, that's kind of the idea, is that if you didn't know it was.
I mean, he knows. He knows. I'll tell you that much. Like that's what he's referring to. But you could try something like sleight of hand to try to, just be like, oh, I appear to don't have it or something. Otherwise, he is expectant of you handing over your
Okay. Well,
full.
I'm maintaining. These are. And I will take you up on that sleight of hand to sort of slide it inside my armor.
Roll it.
No whammy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
He actually motions to one of the undead nearest the door, and it comes over and kind of gives you a light frisking, and it looks back at him and then goes back to position. He says, "Very well, you may pass."
Gideon's looking at Tally. Tally, are you sure about this?
What other choice do we have right now?
Gideon's look tells you there's another choice. Fine. Gideon unslings the big blood spear and clatters it at Rodin's feet. And then he unbelts this really nice, fancy hand crossbow and very gently sets it on the ground.
While pocketing the other with sleight of hand.
Oh, the other one's in his pack. But, they might not know that.
Hang on.
He just upgraded
Before we go.
this one.
Before we go for it, before you give up everything, is it possible that we don't all need to attend the wedding? Is it possible that that maybe some of us go catch up with our friend Floki?
Are you saying this out loud?
Yeah.
And he says, "Ah, Floki. Yes, he is already within the castle."
Oh. Oh, that's good. Well, I guess
Gideon catches what you're saying here.
I guess if we all have our hearts set on going in, then I guess we wouldn't have to split into two groups.
Gideon catches what you're saying here.
You just say that out loud.
He's like
Gideon
tapping his nose,
understands.
but he's also staring at August to see if August understood.
August is ready to do whatever. But I can only
Listen, I
one.
don't. I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but I don't fully trust you to take care of such a fine weapon as this. Is there any chance my friend here could maybe run it out to our horses, store them with our horses?
It says, "Your mounts have already been taken to the stables. I'm sure our stable boy could take these for you and stow them, if that is your request."
Surely you wouldn't take it any more amiss that if I don't trust as fine a person as you, certainly Gideon stumbles to a stop. He's not quite sure how to phrase that without sounding extremely racist.
He just kind of nods and says, "Poor Cyrus would be wounded to hear such a thing." He says, you may either surrender these weapons and attend the wedding, or you may leave. These are the options before you.
Okay.
Gideon, would you consider leaving your manservant outside?
In exchange for what?
Holding your gear instead of
Perhaps he can hold our belongings until the wedding is over.
That's a great idea. You can protect them. It's the safest place to keep them.
I mean, if you gesturing to the really ornate hand crossbow, I'm not trying to make any accusations. The reason he is so distraught to this, you could obviously tell this is a really fine piece, and it's something he cares a lot about. Perhaps we leave it with the one who cannot swear an oath.
I kind of love it. I wasn't wild about leaving valuables unattended.
I don't feel like you're being... roll persuasion. I want to make you roll deception, but...
Eh. I don't know how opposed he was.
Besides, the manservant would stick out like a sore thumb. It would ruin the ambiance of the whole occasion.
I suppose the creature may stay outside if that is your wish.
Okay, just give him the weapons. He can
All
hold
right.
them.
Moose, and I'll call Moose in. And I'll instruct him to take the weapons that we've scattered here on the ground and keep them outside. And if anyone comes to try to move him or take them from him, he is to rip their arms off, beat them with them.
Disarm them.
Yes, disarm them. I make sure to do this out loud.
I suppose that will work.
Okay, I'm glad we can come to a compromise on that.
All right, then let's go.
He allows you to pass, and so he and his... put Moose out there. He and his contingent of armored undead follow you all into this grand hall area. And for the sake of my sanity, I am moving... Oh no, I don't know where that went.
Uh-oh.
No!
Uh-oh.
Okay, well, I know what that one is, so... But from now on, the rest are going elsewhere. I have no idea what happened to that.
I don't know what moved.
I didn't see anything. So.
I know. It's fine, don't worry about it.
Okay.
I am loath to try to move anything else just in case. All right, everybody may continue in.
We could have taken him.
Yeah, but I don't want to get chewed up right before we have to deal with Strahd.
It says, now then, the requests of both the bride and the groom. The groom requests that you simply have a drink with him. He wishes to meet with all of you before the wedding and discuss matters as they have been. However, as for you, and he looks directly at Tally, he says, the bride has requested your presence in her chambers. She wishes to include you in the ceremony, as I am to understand it, as one of her maids.
Well, of course.
Very well. Gentlemen, if you will walk south here, you will find our gracious lord waiting in the dining hall. And Talia says, "My lady, if you'll follow me." So the undead walk south and form up. What can you guys actually see? And basically lead you guys south into a different room. There's a sort of like hall area. Rahadin goes and stands in a hallway just to the east and motions for Tally to follow.
Tally, are you sure you want to split up from us? Sounds like we're going to the more dangerous place, but still.
Look, if something happens, I'll message you. Or if you see bright daylight, that means things are fucked.
And if we get into trouble, you'll hear
Loud
moose battering
noises.
down the doors.
Exactly.
Okay.
I don't really think we're in a position to bargain.
Mm,
We might have expended that capital already.
all right, let's go. So he's going. We're going south, and and Tally's
Guess we're all
continuing
going
east with
south.
Rahada.
But
You guys are all going south, but Tally's going to go up some stairs, effectively. All right, here. Let me get you guys split up in the way that this needs to be. Tally, I'll let you actually see the path that you travel, just for good measure,
sure.
because I'm nice like that. So I guess let's get the rest of you over here. Wrong map. Wrong map.
Why do we even have that map?
Why do we even have that map? All right, so doop-a-doop-a-doo. I'm just moving your guys' tokens.
You move us as you will.
Gladly.
History. As we get them.
Okay. You guys should be in the dining room. You should see Strahd at the end of the table. And then Tally, I'll move you in just a second.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna deal with you. You gentlemen first, shall we?
Seeing Strahd, Gideon automatically reaches to where his crossbow usually is. Like Han Solo shooting at Vader in the dining hall. Like he goes for it and then realizes he doesn't have it. Then crosses his arms like petulantly.
Okay. Here we go. If I can find that bloody block I'm looking for here. Okay, here we go. You were all kind of ushered into this room by undead guards, and Strahd stands as you walk in and kind of motions you to the table and gives you a very toothy smile. He says, "You know," and he raises a goblet, "you truly are the greatest foes I have ever faced. And that is why at dawn tomorrow, you may leave Barovia forever. Whatever blood there is between us, consider it washed away. So long as I have Tatiana, I need nothing more in this life. We met as enemies, so let us part, perhaps not as friends, but at least as equals." And with that, he takes a drink of his goblet and retakes his seat.
You call her Tatiana? What happened to
Yes,
Irina?
Irina, Tatiana. They are one and the same.
I am going to return his toast with my own wine glass.
Okay. And what is it that you are saying with your toast?
Oh, I just mean like
Just lift it and
Yeah.
that's that.
Yeah. And
He says, "Well, what do you say to my most generous offer.
We just walk out tomorrow?
Yes, the mists will simply part and you will leave these lands forever.
And that's something you could have allowed at any time.
Had I so wished it, yes. I am the land, after all.
And so I and all my friends can leave this place.
Yes. You, a mechanical monstrosity outside, you may all simply leave.
What about the
What-
rest?
The rest being,
Everyone else?
says, simply you and your party, is it not? Are there others you wish to speak for?
What about Floki?
If the creature so desires to leave, he may. For the moment, he simply stalks my halls without purpose.
Does sound like Floki.
Otherwise, I will simply deal with him in due time.
You know, the last time we were here, it didn't end very amicably.
Perhaps not. But regardless, I am willing to look past such things and simply allow you to leave.
If I remember right, my friend there accidentally implied that you weren't as strong as you appeared, and it seemed to upset you.
You can see his hands like visibly tighten around the goblet.
You
I
should
do
really hear the
recall,
things that Floki has been saying about you.
he says, I do recall these slights against my person, yes.
For what it's worth, I believe Skirp there didn't mean any harm. He was asking an innocent question and didn't realize the implication behind it.
He just nods, but you can see there's just like the tiniest bit of rage on his face.
I'm still. Just
You're
us.
still,
Oh, I'm still doing the math on this offer. It's just us. We can't bring any of the people of Valaki with us.
is there someone you have in mind? Say what you mean.
Oh, I mean the entire population of Valaki.
Mm,
The people who are cowards
Why
inside their
stop
homes.
at just Falaki? Why not all of Barovia?
All of Barovia.
no, is my answer. Simply no.
Everyone who lives under fear under his reign. Why not allow them all to be free? If all he needs is his Tatiana, why does he need?
I don't know if I can leave.
Very well. You may, if you wish to waste your time, you may ask whatever of the peasantry wish to leave Barovia and take them with you.
Uh,
Quite the concession.
that's okay.
Let you guys mull that over for a little bit.
Yeah. Is there food?
Oh yeah, there's food.
Just had
Also,
breakfast.
He
just
just ate an
occurs to me.
hour-long breakfast.
All right, I'm gonna take an August token just so the stream can see what's going on in the other maps, but you're not really there,
Okay.
so keep that in mind.
Yeah.
You don't exist.
In character, I'm going to be eating quietly for a little bit, thinking about it.
I just have to make some changes on these maps because I forgot I didn't grab Torchy and I don't know what map he's on. So
Rip Torchy.
For the moment, you shall have. Yeah. Anyway, let's do this. Moving on to Tally. Rahadin leads you to the staircase that you see just over here, and he leads you up. And I think I have to take both August and Tally, so we'll do that. August, Tally, boop, boop. All right. And you guys can move forward on the map, following the stairs around. Rahadin leads you up the staircase. The silence is tense, broken only by the long lost wails of the countless men and women the elf has slain. If he notices, he does not show it. You find yourself holding back, if only just to the periphery to escape the deathly choir. Outside, thunder cracks and rain patters upon the windows, but here in the staircase, the air is stale and stifling. Finally, after some time of climbing, you reach a darkened landing. A cold wind sweeps down from nearby off-stair, rattling the iron rung of a trapdoor set into the floor. An immaculate rug stretches before a framed portrait of a young, handsome man with a serene yet penetrating gaze that seems to look beyond time and into the space of soul itself. So that is what you'll see eventually. So far you have, letting you see this journey up the stairwell, comes to a landing and a door, and then we will go to a landing and a door. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So then go ahead and move forward again.
Can I go through the door?
Not yet, that's not the door you
Oh,
want to go
okay.
through.
Sorry.
So landing in a door, and he continues to lead you upward, yet again,
Whoop.
until at last you
I have
come
no light.
here. Oh, that's interesting.
I'm on a 2x2 wall looking thing.
Why do you not have any light?
I can see myself in this 2x2 square, but
Except I have no idea why you don't have light on this map.
whoop.
Oh,
Okay, I just teleported through the
okay.
wall.
We're good.
Wait, what? Okay.
I was down here.
Stay there. All right, so move forward and upward, if you please.
Whoop. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like the.
Yep,
It's like
there.
I can't. Okay. There's like I can't put on certain squares.
Yep. So right here. Yeah, I don't know what that's on about. Oh, because this map looks like it's 5-foot squares, but it's actually
Here, I'll
10-foot
just get on.
squares. So up on this wall is the picture I described. This is the lovely rug here. And Rahadin will go through the door next to you, which you may go into.
Does the picture appear to be a young Strahd?
It absolutely appears to be a young Strahd. Okay. Rahadin clears his throat and leads you past the portrait into a nearby room. Thunder shakes the tower again, answered by the groaning beams that one day won't be able to take the ceiling's weight. Bookcases line the wall, peering off through steel latticework windows. On an old and faded couch lounges a handsome young man dressed in elegant but faded fabrics. Rahadin gives the man a dismissive glance and says, "Escher, how is our bride?" The man sneers. Well, heart's still beating. Rahadin clearly rolls his eyes, goes to the southern door. This map is annoying. I'm just going I'm embiggening the tokens to what they're supposed to 5 foot because I don't want to screw with and it's not important for right now. knocks on the door and says, "Miss Kolyana, you have a guest." Escher, the man on the couch, looks to you with a wolfish grin and says, "Enjoy this last word with her. Eternity as Strahd's plaything awaits. If only some of us could be so lucky, no?" Uh, Rahadin goes in the door first, and then a moment later pokes his head back out and says that you may now enter. And he comes, stands back out in the hall, but otherwise leaves the door open. So Tally, go ahead and go into that, and August too. Actually, I'm going to make August's token small. Oh, we're huge. I mean, it's really cool art, but
It's awesome art. It should make me super small though. Yeah, just stick me in the room somewhere.
just so you're a fly on the wall.
Right.
He's so big.
He's been working out.
It's a raven on the wall.
Kind of, yeah. No expense has been spared in this guest room. A four-corner bed canopied with black curtain and gold trim sits in the center of this room. Irina Kolyana sits on a divan as another woman fusses with her hair. The devil has clearly lavished his fiancée in gems and gold since seizing her. A gold locket sporting a ruby the size of a pine cone drapes around Irina's neck. Her smile is as bright as the sun of the distant world you dimly remember. "You've come," Irina says. "You've actually come." Her eyes glance beyond you, and just on the other side of the door, like standing behind the door, you turn and you see a once beautiful woman in a scarlet bridesmaid's dress staring at you with a fanged smile. Token layer. And there should actually be two of these. So there's actually one kind of where August is behind the door, and then the one that is effectively
Doing her hair.
So we'll make her big size, so you can see. She approaches you and says, I was hoping I might convince you to take part in all of this." She kind of motions around, and you can see, kind of her brave face crack for just a half a second. She says, "I was hoping as a maid of honor, some familiarity might make this whole thing easier on me."
Irina, I would do anything to lessen your burden. But
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, it's also been so long. I would love to catch up with you.
I would love that, but I don't believe that would be allowed. And she looks across the room at the other woman standing by the door, and then crosses the chamber and gives you a very tight hug. And as she does so, she whispers in your ears, "Do not let me marry that monster. I would rather die 1,000 deaths than be his. He calls me Tatiana."
Hugging back and whispering, "I promise that won't happen."
And she says, "Thank you." Rahadin kind of pokes his head back in and clears his throat. "If you're done, we should rejoin the rest of the guests."
Well, if you, the news, it sounds like I am to be the maid of honor. Sir, is it not my duty to help the bride prepare for her wedding?
"She is well attended to here. Sasha," and he motions to the woman standing behind the door, "are seeing to all of her needs. Your role is a nicety and nothing else. If you please." And he motions with a hand outward.
see if there's anything I need to do. Okay. It's so good to see you, Marina.
You too. And as you kind of, break apart, she squeezes your hand before you get totally away from her. All right. He leads you down the stairs, back out past Escher, who gives you another catty smile and winks at you. As you and Rahadin descend the cold steps, you hear footfalls nearby. Thunder suddenly beckons outside. The spiral twists, and out from the dark walks Strahd von Zarovich himself, grinning ear to ear. Good evening, my most anticipated guest. Your stay, I hope, has been most pleasant. I'd stay and chat longer, but there are other matters to attend, if you'll excuse me. And he bows with his cape and continues up the stairs past the two of you. And Rahadin continues to lead you back down to the main level. Now
As
then,
we-
back to... Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, as we're going down, I was gonna say, Rahadin, if I may, what matters does he speak of?
I believe he wishes to go ensure that his bride needs nothing further. And he gives you a devious grin.
Heavy eye roll.
So, gentlemen, as you're sitting here discussing with Strahd, have you thought of anything else you wish to say to him about his offer or anything?
Absolutely.
This is all happening at the exact same time,
Yeah.
effectively. Tally's upstairs, you guys are downstairs.
Gideon is going to continue needling at Strahd, trying to enrage him as he was doing before.
Hmm.
So he's speaking in such a way to try to draw it out. So, Lord Strahd, that offer to allow us to leave in the morning, are you certain you'll be able to uphold it? The last time I spoke to Floki, he sounded like he was fairly certain by morning he would be the new lord of this land.
Oh, I'm quite certain that he thinks such, as he so boldly strode into my castle uninvited. He will be dealt with, I assure you.
Oh yeah, I'm certain. I'm certain. I mean, I don't really think he's here for you necessarily. I mean, August, what was it that he tried to magically compel you to do? What was it he whispered to you?
To slit someone's throat.
Slit
Was
Irina's
the
throat, wasn't it?
he said the woman's throat to be safe, but yeah, he implied it.
So I guess Floki's probably here to kill Tatiana, not yourself. He doesn't even think you're worth dealing with personally.
A coward, is he, to go and strike a woman? How amusing.
He implied he had tapped into the same powers that had created you, was the way he said it.
I am aware of your failed excursion to the tower. And by the tower, I mean temple. Sorry, mixing words.
That's all
Okay,
right.
that makes sense.
He may think that he has such power, but he knows nothing of it.
If you're absolutely certain of Tatiana's safety.
I am, and I must say it warms my heart so to hear you speak her name truly. I thank you for this. And he tips his glass to you again.
I kind of lean over to August and in an exaggerated whisper, hopefully Floki offers us the same deal tomorrow.
Don't
Allows
see
us
why
to
he
leave.
wouldn't.
I figured if challenging his power, this is out of character, challenging his power in that previous thing made him so angry, having someone even third hand imply that he's nothing is gonna be fun. Visibly, does he look agitated at all?
A little bit. He's done a few things, especially when you've mentioned Floki, and doubly so when you mentioned that he was coming to, potentially assassinate Arena. You could see an eyebrow raise, and he, quickly mastered himself and got back to trying to play the cool, calm, collected lord of the castle that he is.
What is he?
Well, I'm sure you're a busy man.
Oh, I mean, yes, there are many preparations, but I thought it best to come and speak with you all as equals and make my offer. In fact, I believe we're about to be a full group once more. And he motions at the door as Rahadin and Tally walk in. Tally, welcome back. Strahd is sitting here drinking with the gentleman of the group.
The same Strahd you just passed in the
Puzzled
hallway.
look. I thought you guys had already concluded your conversation.
What? No, we're still talking.
Well, that's funny. We just passed Strahd going up the stairs. I thought you had. It sounded like you had really important business to attend to.
With that, Strahd takes one last drink, pulls the goblet down, and just vanishes.
What was the? Okay. Okay.
Leaving all of you in this cozy, well-lit, well-provisioned hall.
Probably trapped, unable to leave.
Standing at the doorway, Rahadin makes show of leaving it open and says, "The master requests you stay on the main level until the ceremony. You may look about as you so desire, but per the oath you swore, you agreed to obey his laws. Please keep to the main level." And with that, he bows and walks away, leaving you alone in this room.
So, Skirp, you've been unusually quiet.
And continues to be.
Oh, hi.
Sounds
Found
like
my mic.
he must be muted.
Yeah. Just been internalizing a really complicated situation in my head. No problem. Just Strahd said that he'd free all of Barovia tomorrow.
That wanted to leave.
Anybody who wants to leave.
Tally laughs. No way.
If we don't interfere with the wedding, he said, we and anybody that we care to take with us is free to leave
No,
Barovia.
he said the peasants, just to be fair.
I'm pretty sure he was excluding certain important names.
Yep, and he did say
Well-
peasants.
He said peasantry, but yes.
I feel like he thinks anyone who's not him, and maybe
But
Irina
Tatiana couldn't
is
choose to leave.
peasantry.
Right.
That's probably true. But, I mean, neither can von Richten. Like, not anymore.
Aww.
There have been a lot of people have paid a steep price to get us this far. And if we don't save all of Barovia, like, will that have been for nothing? Like, if we fight and die in this castle, then nothing changes. But if we just don't do anything, then we can free the entire, like everyone who's trapped in here.
Let me ask you this. Do you really believe that you could go around convincing everyone in this country to leave with you tomorrow at dawn? There's just no time, let alone, I mean, how are you going to convince a bunch of people to pack up and walk into the mist?
I mean, time can be bought. If Strahd will free us tomorrow morning, there's no reason why he wouldn't free us in a week.
Mm, I just don't see it happening. It was a false promise because it was impossible to do what you asked.
Also, if you guys are planning to negotiate any sort of dealings, might need to leave me out of it.
Why?
I have a promise I have to keep.
And what's that?
I spoke with Irina.
You saw Irina?
Hmm.
Is she okay?
As okay as you could expect her to be. But this is certainly not what she wants.
Okay. All right. How
You
long
have
before the wedding starts?
several
You got,
hours.
yeah, many hours. You guys left at dawn and had horses and got here in very, very good time. You have most of the day.
It's logistically impossible. Even with all of the people that we have that would trust us, you might be able to help a dozen people.
Yikes.
The logistics. I'm not afraid of the logistics. I definitely think that we could find a way to work it out.
I think, well, I should also announce I've been chosen as a maid of honor.
Oh,
And
and what are the duties of a maid of honor?
well, traditionally, it is to assist the bride in whatever it is that she desires.
And
And I'll let you guess how much she desires to be wed.
so it's not like a second in a duel where you have to get married if she backs out.
This is Barovia. I, I've not been a maid of honor, but I've heard stories. In normal lands, I would be spending my time with the bride and helping her to prepare. They would hardly allow me a moment with her, much less alone. They I don't think there should be any illusions of how much of this she's performing under her free will given the choice.
Okay.
So I I would hold no judgment or dismay if you guys want to save yourselves, that is, or the people. I think that all makes sense, but you can't bet on a deal with me involved. You'll have to negotiate a different deal.
It didn't sound like it was an all or nothing deal where we all left or none of us were allowed to. Skirp, if this is something you truly desire, go for it. I only request that perhaps you leave the item.
No, I think it is an all or nothing deal. Because I'm not about to sit here and watch Strahd kill you all.
You would be betting that we would not make it through the night. That's true.
Well, a moment ago, I'd say that there was some kind of keyed up energy in this room, and that maybe not. We might not have been a breath away from coming to blows with Strahd, but 2 breaths.
I was trying to get him focused on Floki.
And that might not even have been Strahd that was in the room.
It's true, but I can guarantee he's probably listening to everything we say now, let alone during that conversation.
Yeah, that's likely the case. So, there's many ways to go about skinning this cat, and if we have to get Arena out, and you won't come without her, then I suppose we should set aside the notion of Strahd letting us go. Which is probably for the best, because he's... I don't know that he would have kept his word on that. Okay. We've got several hours to kill, and 1 floor of the castle that we're allowed to explore. You guys want to take a walk around the grounds?
Yeah.
I can't imagine they're going to leave us alone for very long. It's just barely possible that Floki may cause enough chaos that we can slip away, or maybe we can find an opportunity to cause some chaos ourselves. Purely innocently, of course.
Out of
Accidentally.
character. Do I remember there being a limit on the number of people that can go in Dim Door?
Yes. Well,
Yes.
Out
Yes.
he's
of
only ever
character.
taken one. Oh, he actually said he could only take the girl
I've
into
stated
Kresk.
I can only take one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fairly
Okay.
certain. I'm gonna inspect the organ at the end of the room there.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I was gonna press those buttons.
Does it? I don't know anything about organ construction.
Okay.
Where do those pipes go?
Upward. They terminate in near the ceiling, effectively.
They like terminate like
End.
okay. was
If
just-
you're going to look around these or examine it, perception or
Yeah.
investigate, either of those will do.
Let me get my mouse out. Sorry, it's been so long that I turned it off.
All good.
I'm gonna sit, assuming there's a bench, I'm gonna sit in front of the keys.
Okay.
Okay, so it doesn't look like the pipes like leave the room in any
No.
way. Darn.
So there's a bunch of keys, pedals.
But we
and
have
whatnot.
heard this organ throughout the castle when he was playing, have we not?
Yes, you have.
I was just curious if there was like a big steam contraption somewhere downstairs that powers the organ.
You don't see anything that stands out by this. Skirp, what are you doing with the organ?
I'm kind of waiting for everyone to finish.
I'm just looking
Like,
at it right
okay.
now, like see if there's anything interesting about it.
Well, as soon as there's nobody like standing right next to it, I'll tap one of the keys experimentally.
Okay. Makes a brrrr. So you have basically like 3 sets of piano keys and a couple pedals down below.
Well, I'm definitely gonna sort of like fiddle with the keys for a little bit,
Okay.
and in the way that you would expect somebody who's never seen any sort of like
Step on-
keyboard instrument.
Press every key in in a row. Step on all the pedals and
Do that thing where you run your fingers along the entire length.
do-do-do-do-do-do.
Exactly.
All right. You
Put on an
sit
organ.
here and continue. You go through as Gideon described, kind of running your fingers around and pressing the pedals, and all of a sudden, burn! You hit one of the pedals, and
Oh That's
the
not what I was going
organs
for.
the organ slides, revealing a secret passageway.
I'm going to cough loudly to cover the sound of the sliding while gesturing at August to shut the door.
I isn't what's his face standing there? Or did he finally leave?
He left.
He walked
He's
away.
not actually there. Yeah.
I mean,
In text, I verbalized him walking away. So
there's only 3 guards out there, but yeah, I'll go shut the door.
Holy shit.
okay. As new discoveries are made, a secret passage leading somewhere off into the darkness, we shall end our session for the evening, to
Oh
be
my
picked
God.
up when next we meet.
Which I believe is in 2-ish weeks. Let's verify that real quick.
Going to the calendar.
I believe we said the 21st and then the 28th to follow.
I have. Is it May?
I have the 21st. Yes, that's what you've listed on the 14th of April.
If people are okay, I will check into next week.
I
just so we
can
can
do
keep
it.
it going. If
I would
everyone's
love
cool with
to
that.
play every week until we can't anymore or we finish.
Okay.
I would hate
I'm
to
gonna-
end one session from the
Wait.
climax.
I'm gonna block off every Thursday.
Okay.
I am free the 14th as well.
How about you, Rap?
I'm good.
Okay, I'll let you guys know shortly. Stream, thank you for listening to me prattle on for several hours.
I enjoyed the heck out of it.
I liked finally trying to make Strahd mad.
All right, we'll see you guys possibly next Thursday for the continuation, or 2 weeks after that. Just tune in any morning stream, and I'll keep you guys updated. Thank you, chat, and
Live
this will be on
stream.
YouTube in the next few days. If you ever want to catch up, this is our 29th episode. We've been playing for 3 years,
'Cause we're
soon
crazy
to come
people.
to an end. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye now.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.